second to none. How many years in a row? They've been good for a long time. Okay, so there's so many more Husker athletics that we can cheer for that we don't have to get so hung up on football.
Well, we're gonna
or basketball.
So tonight we'll have on Nicole Griffith and Jake Sorensen, and then they'll be live at the Upside Bar and Lounge. They'll be from 6 to 8. It's 27th and Pine Lake. Go out and watch. They've got national championship game between Georgia and Alabama on all TVs. It's taco night. 50-cent hard shell tacos. 50 cents.
They getting ahead of Taco Tuesday.
$1 soft shell tacos. $3 margaritas. Yeah.
That sounds like the
Upside
spot.
Bar and Lounge. And then after that, Talking Tens, the two young ladies from the women's gymnastics team, after their season debut with a win, they go to Iowa State and knock them off. Kinsey Roby won one of her events, led the way in the all-around for their first win of the season. So it's Michaela Curtis and Kinsey Roby. And then dive deep. You had a deep dive. Reagan Hins. It's going to be a long night. It's going to be a fun night, but Husker sports, Huskers talking sports. That's the way it should be.
Who better not to hear from about their particular sport than the person who plays in it at a high level?
Well, I mean, the gymnasts, look, you went on the road for the opener and got a win.
Top 25 win.
Yeah.
I think Iowa State's ranked 20th.
Yeah. And then I went and saw the wrestling teams Friday night.
I got a question for you, DP. I'm a little jealous right now.
What you jealous about?
Well, I walked in today, and every day I've been here, I've seen you in Husker gear from head to toe, right? And today I walk in thinking, dang, he ain't even no Husker. He got Husker gear on, but he got some Jordans on. Thinking of old school Jordans, right? Then I look, and this guy.
Spin the camera around.
Spin
the camera around. Spin the camera.
Turn on. Bend ways
hurt yourself. They can't see it. They can't see it.
I'm 60 years old, man.
Hey, just take it off.
Look, we really weren't sure I was going to be.
I know you don't got holes. I know you don't have holes in your socks. Take
you should appreciate the flexibility of the old dude.
Hey, man, I was impressed that you got it up on the table.
Listen, the people that's actually out there in Husker country that's listening and watching YouTube, you get ready to get you're in for a treat.
Yo, DP, how'd you get your foot up there?
I'm just trying to.
Oh my goodness!
It was just not. He even got some Adidas socks on. I'm up in here with UPS. What can you do for me? Shout out Todd McDay. I got to cut the check on, which is Nike. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting up here in some military fatigues and some boots. And I walk in here every day, and you would think that DP was a 7-time national champ at Nebraska because every day he is loaded with Husker gear. And then I see him walk in with these shoes that remind you of the first Air Jordan 1s. Look at that.
Look at that.
Right?
Got the Herbie.
But they got the Herbie Husker in the end on them. Now, here's what I need to know. Who are you? Who are you?
Folks have been asking that question.
We need to know who dropped you in here, Santa Claus.
Right? Like, see, people.
You don't know nothing about no Santa Claus yet.
Right? Like, he really don't know.
I don't know about no Santa Claus.
He really don't know yet.
Well, I called him Santa Claus for a reason. So, who dropped you in here? Who told you to come down this roof, Santa Claus?
No,
I need to know, DP. You're scaring me.
Black Santa knows all.
Jeez.
No, man. This is
who you getting your gear from?
Those are fire, right?
Man.
I followed this boy on Instagram.
You know what, man?
I followed the dude who made them shoes. I followed on Instagram, man. I'm looking at his shoes.
Buddy. That ain't cool right now.
Right.
I ain't really feeling the fact that DP come in off the streets and he got more Husker gear than all of us. About 4 or 5 of us put together now. I know I've given away a lot of stuff, but I'm seeing some stuff that I ain't never saw before. Honestly, really starting to really hurt my feelings.
Hey, wouldn't be surprised if he got more Husker than the players are getting right now.
Listen, I'm not going. I'm just going to start to take me a little something back in that back office. I was seeing hats, and I'm just going to put it on my head and walk out as if it's mine.
Just walk out. Look, you be the first person that walks in here who doesn't.
Well, I see why now, because you have all the exclusive private stock gear.
Yeah, no, every now and then you gotta go. You gotta go get the.
Man,
This
I
man
need to
walks
know
into
who
this
you
man
talking
walks into
about.
the athletic director's office and is just like, yeah, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that. I'm
No,
gonna
I
take
can't
ain't
go.
walking
I
in no
can't go. I can't
athletic
go. I can't
director's
go.
office.
I
not the
can't go.
director, the where they get all the gear. That's
Talking
what he
about-
wants.
You don't even
Yeah,
know.
equipment manager.
The equipment manager. He got more. See, he got more than just football stuff, though. That's the difference.
No, it's all the equipment, all of them.
Yeah, but you can't go to football and get gymnastic stuff, or you can't go to football and get basketball shoes. You got to know some. You got to go to Hoiberg and
Well. See, here's the thing. So I was asked to give a pep talk to the team before the season, so I did that, and I brought them food, right? Hooked them up with some real food.
it didn't work.
No, it didn't work. I got to go back.
You need
No. Just imagine what it was before. I
You
got.
need
No. You got to
smack some people around
No,
a little
you-
bit.
no.
Hey, look, you went in there being Mr. Nice DP. See? You supposed to walk in there and pull out the other DP.
The other
that
DP
guy.
is there. They wasn't ready for. They was barely ready for nice DP.
So you went in there, you had a conversation.
No, see,
and
I
you
talked
came
so,
out with
but in the shows, since I've been here, like we've had like Lance Harvell from baseball and Jalen Reyes from volleyball, Mark Manning from wrestling. He came in, brought us shirts. Right. This is how I want this to be a Husker home. So for coaches and players to have the freedom and the ability to come in here, jump in front of the microphone anytime they want, tell their story, right? From their voice, not from us talk about them.
Or you?
I already told
Santa
you.
Claus.
Black Santa, baby.
Hey,
I already told you.
How'd that mug look yesterday?
One thing, hey, what
Nicely,
size
right?
shoes
Yeah,
are those?
how was it?
Right?
What did it look like?
I'm short.
14s?
14.
He's talking about, I'm short. 14s. That's like Eric Crouch. You know what I'm saying? Everybody thinks about Eric Crouch. And Eric Crouch is my other locker man. I don't know why I was around the quarterbacks. I don't even know why they put me there. But anyway, I would look over and you got Eric Crouch tying his shoes up. I'm like, dang, Eric, what size shoe you wear, sir? 14.
Yeah.
That just means you just
That's
cover a lot of ground.
That's the line between shoes you can buy in a store and the people you have to special order and go, hey, can you order this for me?
Well,
Because y'all don't have it.
I'm glad you're 14s because they're exactly my size.
Oh, okay. Well,
I know you got some good stuff
you know what? I really do.
that
and
you probably don't even wear.
You are correct. And now
Rashawn gonna go shoot shopping
Man.
at DP's place.
Hey, listen.
No.
14s,
All he
got to
do is call. All he got to do is call Becky. She's like, "Look, I know about
She
5
got a
pairs."
box. She got a
Yeah,
box.
she'll be
She's
Becky, like-
he doesn't need these.
Yeah, she's already picked them out. Like right now,
Rebecca,
she's
I'm
listening.
asking now, just bring them to the station.
She's listening now and
Bring 'em to the
making a
station,
list
Rebecca.
of
Rebecca.
things that
Please.
shoes that do not get worn.
Rashawn's gonna go out to his car.
I
It's gonna be
wear
filled with
a
shoes.
size
It's like the
14,
popcorn with the rookies. It's
and
gonna
I
be
know
shoes.
DP has multiple pairs of 14s
I do.
that he's not even thinking about.
You are right. You're absolutely right.
Rebecca, bring them in. 2
I
o'clock.
I will make
Please.
sure that tomorrow, when I come in tomorrow, I'll have some.
That'll work.
Yeah, it's real talk.
Thank you,
Like, cause
Father.
Hey,
Father.
Dang.
May we have any more? No, I'm a giver. Like they know, they know. I'm like, is it like the hats? Like we were in New York, so I know he's the Knicks fan. So you got to.
I don't even know why he's on my show talking with that Knicks hat on. You better put a Husker hat
Yeah, you're right.
on,
I don't know either.
Or a Tampa Bay.
That was.
Or a
cold.
Tampa. No, Nick hit you. Nick, let him
Nick
back
hit you.
in.
I did.
Let him
I
back
did. He's
in
back.
real
I
quick,
turned
Nick.
him on real
Hold
quick.
on a minute.
I turned it
Hey,
back
that's
on.
what me and Nick got a little pack here.
What?
You get out of line, we're cutting you off.
That's
We're gonna
fine.
cut you smooth off.
We
That's
have
fine.
talked
Now,
about this.
We-
Hey, Rico,
It's been talked about.
why can you wear any other hat besides the Knickerbockers?
It's my only stocking cap.
I'm bringing you some in. I got a bunch of Husker stuff.
Okay.
Since
See?
DP hooking me up
See,
with 14,
this is what
I got
family does.
hats for you.
All right,
is
bet.
what family
I got
does.
Husker like hats, but I don't have Husker. I
at
like
Nick.
caps.
Now, Nick's
Yeah,
like,
Nick's
what?
over here with
What?
a Cubs
What?
hoodie on. What are you talking about?
Do you want? Believe me, the only reason why he's getting away with the Cubs little jersey on, that sweatshirt on. Let me tell you why.
We came to
It's
rain.
because my grandfather, bless his soul, he loved the Cubs, and I had to watch baseball growing up because my grandfather wasn't turning into nothing else but baseball.
You
Okay?
had to watch Harry Carey.
Harry
All the games of
Hey,
WGN. There's a fly ball.
Hey, listen.
Deep
Fly
center
ball to deep
field.
center.
I don't think that one's going to land
Perfect.
in Cubville.
Perfect.
Someone else, bring me a beer
Perfect.
and a hot dog.
Perfect.
There's a fly ball deep. Oh crap, that's gonna go out. We're gonna lose. That's
Hey, man, I'm telling you, you did not get now, the other sports were just, I mean, unless it was boxing. Okay. Boxing was different. But as far as the other sports in Grandpa's house, we watched them, but it came secondary to baseball. Okay. And the Cubs were his team. So Nick can get away with wearing the Cubs. You can't get away with wearing the Knicks anymore.
No, you can't.
We got to get you a different hat. Says
Okay.
Huskers on it.
Okay.
Thanks, Rico.
Man, I got my company. I got my company.
I got to have to go
jacket
just
on,
with
so,
that.
yeah.
Your company jacket, too.
So
Yeah.
I got that.
I mean, thanks, buddy.
and your company swag is coming. So
I mean, eventually, hopefully, you guys treat me better than the Huskers that treat me.
I ain't gonna make you
because
wait nearly as long as
I'm
they
saying,
said. I ain't gonna make you wait
I
nearly as
would
long.
imagine I'd have some of these exclusive
No,
items
no. Here's what's
that
funny.
I'm seeing.
Here's
that-
what's funny. They
That's
didn't.
a
they-
nice shirt you got.
He got this dude got half jackets, drawers, socks, t-shirts, tank tops, and they all got the Nebraska in on them. Man, come
What's
on,
it-
man.
what's-
You ain't even from Nebraska. How you do
Well,
that?
just like,
man.
because I know when a stranger, as a black man and a stranger in Nebraska, I better put colors on, so I don't have to answer a
You
whole
ain't
lot
wearing-
of questions. See, so I
You were
walk,
wearing the right
so,
colors.
so whatever. So I would walk every morning, right? I walk in the morning, and I walk at night, late at night. So if I'm walking around campus, or I'm walking around the Haymarket, some people might go, well, "What you doing, man? Man,
Stop that.
what
Them
you-
people ain't gonna look at you and be like, look at that. That's one of the coaches or something. You got all that Husker stuff on. That ain't got
Hey,
none of the
hey, I
coaches.
know you-
Oh,
you
you mean
play-
without the Husker stuff?
Without the Husker stuff,
Well,
that's a different
Hey,
conversation.
man, it's Lincoln.
Yeah,
Wait a second, are you Jay
We're in
Foreman?
Lincoln.
right. Like it's
Hey, you played in '96, right?
You're
Hey,
Jay
man,
Foreman.
you got
Hey,
but so, this is what's funny. So we
Inside
do
joke.
these remotes. We do these remotes, and I can't tell you how many people just come up and go, "Hey, Jay," and I'm like, "No, the other black guy, the big tall one,
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that dude. You know, and then if I'm by myself, I'm still Jay. I'm not DP. I'm Jay. So
I mean,
so
I'm just jealous.
you know how you when you in a space where there's gang rule, you better identify with the colors.
So you saying Nebraska's a gang?
Oh yes, indeed.
One of the biggest ones in Nebraska.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You say it's
Probably
not.
the biggest one in
Yeah,
Nebraska.
I was gonna say. You know,
I just want to see if I can get some of the gang colors.
You know,
I was a part of the gang on
I
the
just-
inside.
I just want to let them know in advance.
What happened to me?
You was a ringleader. What's going
I'm one of the ringleaders of the gang. And they said, you don't get any more gear, buddy.
My man
You
was up
get
there
the
at the
gear.
top.
DP, I'm telling you, every day I look for to see what DP's gonna have. Where do you get that all black Nebraska hat on? I haven't seen any. You can't go to the stores. You can't go to Husker Hounds. Husker Hounds, I used to know them over there. Please, if you hearing me, where's the all black Nebraska?
You know
hat?
who I
It's a
miss?
nice hat.
You know who I miss? Part of the recruiting that convinced me that this was a good place for me to live and work was the spot when my first visit here. I walked into this spot because I was looking for what's your sports store? And I walk into a spot in Haymarket, and there in the store is Mike Rozier and Rich Glover.
Legend.
And we sit there and chop it up for a good hour and a half. Like Rozier's like, "What you doing here, man? Like, what you doing here? What's happening? What's
Yeah,
coming?"
who sent you?
And I said, "Yeah, who sent you?
Who was it?
And I said, "It's coming, but be cool." But the store had all Nebraska swag, like all memorabilia, helmets, all that stuff. But then as soon as I decided to move here, the store closed.
Oh, and so that's how you got
Just
all
because you
of
bought
the-
it out, right?
You got all of the.
I did not, but I would have.
You got all of the gear because they closed down
clearance
now.
sale. Clearance sale.
Look, let me tell
Here
you.
it is, you guys.
Everything
Let me tell you.
70% off.
He didn't get it from the university. He got it because he bought the store out. Because it closed.
Closed it down.
Either way, Rebecca, I want the stuff.
Let me tell you, it was that stuff. The stuff in that store, it had like all the jerseys from like current all the way back to the original sweaters and all that stuff. And then it had like the pullover cold weather like jackets. As a matter of fact, it was. If I was given the opportunity, I would have bought everything.
See, I know
You would have walked in there. You said, "How much for the store?"
Like this stuff that was in there. Like it was amazing. Like all the throwback stuff, but the store closed and it's not even there anymore. It was right next to Old Chicago, maybe.
I think I remember, but
Like it was like Go Big Red Shop or something. It was not the one that's still open over on that side of the street, close to PBA. It was right across from the hotel. And we were staying in the hotel. So the first thing I see is Husker stuff. And I'm like, okay.
I want the good.
If you know DP, he's a very big fan of stuff.
I have to, I got humble yesterday. I have to do less stuff. I have too much stuff. And I need to change how I'm living.
Look, man, like Rashawn said, we take some of it off your hands.
Man,
Yeah, but my clothes are big man clothes.
Yeah, that means Rico,
Yeah, you're
not
right.
for
Not
you.
for me. Nope.
Just the hats, Rico.
Just the hats.
Just the hats.
Okay.
Just the hats.
Hats we could do.
Not the clothes.
No,
That's
can't
for
do the
that's
clothes.
The
for big
pullovers and
guys.
stuff. I got some stuff. Yeah, me and Becky and I had that conversation.
All
Like we know you love the Huskers, but you have too much stuff.
Hey, listen,
Like,
man,
I know you
y'all
love
see
it.
y'all getting me sidetracked, and I got a heck of a lineup going on today.
Go on and give it to them.
Heck of a lineup going on today. So in about at 11:30
Uh-huh.
ish, we're gonna have the great Jamal Lord. Now think about this.
Well
And the
done.
reason why I wanted to bring Jamal Lord on was a couple of different reasons. One, he had to deal with the adversity of Coach Solis being fired. He was the starting quarterback at that time, and then having Coach Pelini come in and coach him. And then two, I want to get his intake on. I want to put him in the shoes of Thompson.
Okay.
Okay. I want to say, okay, he's coming in. He's got 2 years to go. He's a proven quarterback. What are the first pieces he needs to be successful?
Ooh.
So we're going to talk to Jamal Lord at 11:30. Then we're going to bring back, okay, Aaron Taylor for our pipeline pancakes.
Pipeline pancakes. Stack them.
Pipeline pancakes, stack them. So Aaron's going to kind of talk about, I ain't even going to tell you everything just then. And then we got a special guest. We're going to be trucking with somebody. So every other day we're going to truck with somebody. There's a lot of former Huskers that run trucks. There's on trucks and big rigs. And we're going to probably be trucking with Jock a little bit later on at about 1:30 hour, 1:45. So it's a Rock'em Sock'em show. I'm Vershawn. It's the ticket. DP's over there cleaning off those clean Nebraska Air Jordans that I want. Come right back.
You spend more time in your garage than outdoors in the wintertime. Isn't it time to get it organized? Call Travis at Classic Garage Solutions for his variety of organization packages. Turn your garage from a cluttered mess to a clean, organized space that'll be the envy of the neighborhood and something you can be proud of. You don't need to bring the same clutter from last year into the new year. Travis has storage options for cabinets, monkey bar shelving, or slat wall, and more. Call Classic Garage Solutions today at 402-730-1638.
At Buffalo Wings and Rings, they've crafted a new league of superior chicken sandwiches. Meet the Ringers. It's premium, house-made, beer-battered, fried chicken served Buffalo, Korean, or MVP style. Head to Buffalo Wings and Rings Lincoln and raise a glass to superior chicken. 2 locations at 68th and O and at 40th and Old Cheney. Buffalo Wings and Rings.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
A sunny and seasonably cool day for our Monday, topping out near 37. Winds will start the day out of the north at 10, but try to change out of the west by late this afternoon. Overnight clear with a low of 22. A nice bounce back in temps for our Tuesday. We should be mainly sunny, southwest winds 10 to 15, and an afternoon high of 52. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Working at Continental of Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they're hiring for production operators at $21.72 an hour and other select jobs starting at $23.42 an hour, with wages growing up to $27.55 an hour. Continental also has salary jobs available with great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljob.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Seasons change, but your land stays the same. You need the right solutions to keep you moving. That's why you rely on Acres Equipment, your Nebraska-owned premier John Deere dealership. Whether you're harvesting, protecting your crops, feeding the herd, maintaining your lawn, improving your business, or letting off some steam, Acres has what you need to get the job done. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
This is Dan Friedman. In recent years, over 1/3 of all Nebraska traffic crashes have been caused by drivers aged 15 to 19. If you're a teen driver, don't become another statistic. Keep your eyes on the road. And if you're a parent, please remember that safe driving habits start with you. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices. For almost 60 years, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
When it comes to vaping, the truth can get clouded. So let's make it clear. Vaping is not safe for youth.
Because vaping can put microscopic particles into your lungs.
And dangerous things like metals into your body.
And nicotine, which can harm a person's brain development through their mid-20s.
With appealing flavors, high nicotine levels, and lots of promotion on social media.
Many kids think vaping is harmless, but it's not.
So talk to your kids about the risks of vaping.
Sponsored by SAMHSA and Nebraska DHHS. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
A sunny and seasonably cool day for our Monday, topping out near 37. Winds will start the day out of the north at 10, but try to change out of the west by late this afternoon. Overnight clear with a low of 22. A nice bounce back in temps for our Tuesday. We should be mainly sunny, southwest winds 10 to 15, and an afternoon high of 52. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You spend more time in your garage than outdoors in the wintertime. Isn't it time to get it organized? Call Travis at Classic Garage Solutions for his variety of organization packages. Turn your garage from a cluttered mess to a clean, organized space that'll be the envy of the neighborhood and something you can be proud of. You don't need to bring the same clutter from last year into the new year. Travis has storage options for cabinets, monkey bar shelving, or slat wall, and more. Call Classic Garage Solutions today at 402-730-1638.
And now a limerick from the world of Yum.
There once was a man in a bind. He's got the best wife in all mankind. And with Valentine's Day not that far away, he needs the greatest gift he can find. Jewelry can be hit or miss, and that vacuum was quickly dismissed. Flowers, they die. Homemade, don't be that guy. But what about that bakery in Beatrice? Liqueur cakes, you'll eat every crumb. Fruit cakes made with brandy, bourbon, and rum. And those chocolate cake squares. Do I have to drive you there? Get yourself to the world of Yum.
Back with Vershawn Jackson on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, real quick before we get, can we get For Love and Money one more time before we bring Marley G in. Jamal Lord. Marley. We got it. Before we bring Marley in, Marley, I just want you to just wrap your mind around this song. Turn it up a little bit, man. Turn it up a little bit. Just wrap it around this song right now. And think about college football. That's what all the players are singing to themselves. They're going down dancing. Yeah. Thinking it's about the money. I'm back. It's the captain. We're on the ticket, 93.7. I'm with DP still hanging out, and Jamal Lord is our guest today. Marley G, what's up, brother?
Hey, man, Slow Boogie, brother. How's everything with you?
Everything is going absolutely great. I get a chance to talk to a legend at the quarterback position. I've got hey, listen, man. I anytime I interview people, even if I do know them, I always go back and do a little homework. So I just happened to be, I don't know if it was the K-State game or it was the Texas game, and you had an option run, and at the end of the run, which I thought it was good, you pitched it to Juggernaut, and then Darren Diedrich kind of went on down the field. I don't remember the game, but I was like, boy, do I miss that type of option, man. Run down the field 20, 30 years, and then 20, 30 yards, and then pitch that joker, man. That was amazing to see. So just to start,
not built like that no more.
I agree. Just to start, Marley, how did you end up at Nebraska?
How I ended up in Nebraska, I couldn't even tell you, brother. To be honest with you, I know it was like you know how that whole recruiting process go. I mean, you get a bunch of calls, a bunch of letters, or whatever, and then you narrow them down. But in the back of my mind, I always thought of the Tommy Frazier's, the Lawrence Phillips and the guys like that. Just hearing those guys on TV and seeing them just get busy. You know what I mean? Like, damn, that's where I want to go. And then it just happened to be. You know what I mean? That I got the opportunity.
So like I did my homework. So you were there when Crouch was there, right?
Yes, sir.
And that whole Bobby Newcomb, that whole gambit, right? Okay,
That was
so
99, yes, sir.
How you sat behind and waited your time for 3 years?
Yeah.
3
Yes, sir.
years you waited until it was your turn. How did that prepare you waiting those 3 years?
It didn't prepare me at all. You know what I mean? I wanted to play. You know what I mean? Just put me on the field at any position. I mean, just the opportunity. But then at the end of the day, I knew that Bobby was good. Eric was even better, and I had to sit there and just patiently wait for my time to get in.
So when you did get in, it's 03, tough season, 7-7, and then you come back your senior year and 10-3. And at that point, Coach Solich had been fired, and I think Coach Pelini was the coach. Kind of talk about that time and that transition. What was going on at the time? What was the mindset at the time?
Mindset at the time was going. I think when he fired Coach Solich, it was like, I mean, it was like losing a father figure, bro. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I mean, Solich was my
man
coach.
That came to my house and sat down on my couch and everything like that. So I felt part responsible. You know what I mean, for him getting fired and all of that. But
why do you feel that
day,
way, though?
It is
why do
what
you feel
it
that
is.
way, Marley? That's
What's up?
Why do you feel that way?
I don't know, because that was my job. I was the quarterback of that team.
Yeah, but you
know
guys,
what I mean? That went 7-7, and it didn't. And at that time, 177 was like hell froze over. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa! How do you compare that? We in one season 7-7 to 3-9.
I ain't got nothing to do with that. Ain't got nothing to do with that, bro. I mean,
but I'm saying that 7-7 seems like
I said, they built different now, bro. It's built different now. That whole thing is built different.
So
the whole thing is built different.
So talk about this too, because I'm all over the place, and I'm gonna be hitting you with all types of different stuff. So
you good? Good.
You went kind of in the same kind of genre as Scott. You got drafted right in the 6th round, not to play quarterback, but to play safety. What was the difference in that transition?
Man, I was going from being the hunted to the hunter. it's a whole different mentality. You know what I mean? Going from offense to defense. I wish to God that they'd put me at like a receiver or something like that. I'd have probably had a little bit more longevity. But at the end of the day, I was blessed to play safety. I was blessed to play in the NFL. So at the end of the day, I'm not even complaining.
No, I mean, it ain't too many people that can say they got drafted in the 6th round to play a position, not to play a position that they didn't play at all, in 5 years at Nebraska. You didn't play that position at all. That's what when I look at that, I'm like, what?
It didn't make any sense.
It makes no sense.
I didn't complain because I was just blessed. I was just blessed with that opportunity, bro. You know what I mean?
Talk about practices because everybody thinks that I'm biased towards the 90s guys, and I'm not. I love the 80s. I love the 70s players. I love the 80s players. I love the 2000 players. I love the guys that are in 2010. I love those players. I love these guys that's down there now. So when you talk about 2003, right, 2002, 2001, 2000, all those years, how was practice during those years? Because you didn't get the green jersey until you were a starter. So how was practice for you?
Well, practice was different. I remember 99. That defense was rough, bro. That was my true redshirt year, and I had to go against those dudes. That was what? That was Polk, that was Tony Ortiz, Eric Johnson, Vanden Bosch, Steve Warren. Goddamn me! Excuse my language. Who else? Mike Brown, Ralph Brown. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you had that was a stout defense right there.
That was my introduction to college football, bro.
And all those guys had, for the most part, the majority of those guys had won a championship. Yeah, they got drafted, and they were there for the championship as well. Everybody in there. Who else?
Akio Craver.
Akio.
Dewan Gross. You know what I mean? Randy Stella. Joe Walker.
Lenore McPherson.
You know what I mean? Those guys had impacts.
Now you talked a little bit about, this. It's a different animal. What's the difference between this not Nebraska football first? Let's talk about this age of player. What's the difference between the player now and the player back in the gap when you played?
I guess these guys now are more, they're more protected. You know what I mean? Like, they can't play as fast as those guys back then could, because they got all kinds of targeting penalties now. You know what I mean? It's built for the offense to succeed. So it's hard for defense to, it's hard for anybody, hard for anybody to, you feel me? To play full speed like that when you got Pickett. I mean, you got to keep your head up anyway, and blessed to have these rules and have these things in the league, or, you know what I mean, in college or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, you out there running around full speed. You're not even thinking. You're just reacting. And bad things happen sometimes.
Let's talk about, so Nebraska got a new quarterback, right?
In
the transfer portal. Let's talk, when we talk Thompson, right? Casey Thompson. If you're Casey Thompson and you are coming into the University of Nebraska, what is the first piece that you would like to have?
I want to know who's blocking for me.
Who's blocking?
Who's blocking?
Why is that important?
You answer that question by answering that question. Why is it important? So if somebody's blocking for me, like, what's the purpose of having, you know what I mean?
You can't get the purpose is, if somebody's not blocking up front, it don't matter who. You can put Michael Irvin out there, Terrell Owens, you can put whoever you want out there. If you don't have any blocks up front, it's not going to matter.
It's not going to matter, sir.
So one of the things that I like to talk about a little bit is why don't we hear about offensive linemen in the transfer portal like we hear about quarterbacks, like we hear about and receivers? Why not offensive linemen? What happened that we don't put a value on those guys?
They're not as sexy. You know what I mean? They're not as sexy as a quarterback or Or, you know what I mean? Or running back or receiver.
You could
Not
tell.
as sexy.
You know, you could
But at
you
the
could
end of the
tell
day,
that to
it
our
make a
guys.
difference on both sides of the ball. You know what I mean? And so they have these guys that have them in their stable, have these 5-star O linemen and D linemen. That says a lot. It makes a lot up.
Yeah, but so when you talk like you had it tough in your junior year. You had it tough as far as the offensive line. How do you help them as a quarterback develop into better blockers? What do you do as a quarterback when your line might not be as good?
What do you do to develop a?
What can you help them, or is it all about the coaching? Is it coaching?
No, I mean it's both sides. It's both sides. It's helping them on as a quarterback. Like for instance, you could go on 2. You go on quicker. Just with your cadence. You know what I mean? That helps out your old lineman a whole lot.
That's good.
You know what I mean? To
Switch
get them
up your
comfortable and all of that.
Yeah, I like that though.
But at the end of the day, they still got to be able to have that discipline. You know what I mean? To say, well, this is on 2. He might change the cadence. He might change the whole play. You know what I mean? So they got to be smart up front as well. You feel me?
Who was the best running back you played with in college?
I mean, they all play different, though. You know what I mean? Because
if you are the quarterback, you got a game. You at the top of your career. They say you can go back and play one game, and you get to pick the lineup. Who are you picking that you play with at Nebraska? Who's your running back?
Who is my running back that I play with?
Yeah.
So it can get. I'm gonna go with Buckhalter.
Ooh, the Buckster.
I'm gonna go with Buckhalter, and then I'm gonna go with Buckhalter as my back.
Who'll be your number 2?
My number 2 will probably be. I like Corey Ross, probably.
Pork chop. We're gonna get
Yeah.
pork chop in here. We getting the chopster. I'm getting the chopster gonna be in I'm chop coming in the building because I know he in Lincoln somewhere. Pork chop if you listening. If pork chop if you listening, man. Matter of fact, I might just need to bring him in. We might just have found a half a co-host, man. Let me stop. Man, I just got excited. Pork chop. Okay, cool. You got Buckhalter, you got pork chop. Who's your receivers?
Who's my receivers? I got Matt Harrion as my tight end. I'm gonna throw Bobby in there too.
Bobby Newcomb?
Yeah.
Great get. Okay.
I'm gonna throw Bobby in there. I'm gonna throw Matt Harrion in there. And on the other side, I'm gonna throw Wilson Thomas in there.
6'6", 210. You gotta put Wilson Thomas in there.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw Wilson Thomas in there.
So listen, Jamal. When we come back, we're gonna dive a little bit deeper into, the last 4 or 5 years. You being a former Husker, what you're doing these day and age. Now that you got to be a big man. But I am appreciative of you coming on the show.
No problem.
I'm the captain. I'm Vershawn Jackson. It's The Ticket 93.7. Be right back.
And now a limerick from the world of Young.
There once was a man in a bind. He's got the best wife in all mankind. And with Valentine's Day not that far away, he needs the greatest gift he can find. Jewelry can be hit or miss, and that vacuum was quickly dismissed.
Night is taco night at Upside. 50-cent hard shells, $1 soft shells, and $3 house margs while you watch the big game. It's Ticket Week nights with me, Nicole Griffith, live from Upside Bar and Lounge at 27th and Pine Lake tonight, January 10th from 6 to 8 p.m.
You know that feeling after a good, hearty meal? The worries of the world just slip away. time slows down. Nothing but good times and good company. That's what you get with Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Mary Ellen's does food right, with a menu that includes smoked wings, pulled pork, brisket, catfish. And don't sleep on their sides, shrimp and grits, collard greens, baked beans. It's food that makes your heart happy. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul, just east of 27th and Pineland. Let them fix you a plate.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox KFXL weather, sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
A sunny and seasonably cool day for our Monday, topping out near 37. Winds will start the day out of the north at 10, but try to change out of the west by late this afternoon. Overnight clear with a low of 22. A nice bounce back in temps for our Tuesday. We should be mainly sunny, southwest winds 10 to 15, and an afternoon high of 52. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Buffalo Wings and Rings, they've crafted a new league of superior chicken sandwiches. Meet the Ringers. It's premium, house-made, beer-battered, fried chicken served buffalo, Korean, or MVP style. Head to Buffalo Wings and Rings Lincoln and raise a glass to superior chicken. 2 locations at 68th and O and at 40th and Old Cheney. Buffalo Wings and Rings.
At Southeast Community College, we know that winter isn't even here yet, but spring is already on our minds. Registration for the spring 2022 semester is open now. Whether you want to get a head start on a 4-year degree, learn a new trade with a certificate program, or add to your job skills, SCC has a class for you. Spring semester starts January 10th. Learn more about our more than 60 programs of study online at southeast.edu. SCC, your path to possible.
When it comes to vaping, the truth can get clouded. So let's make it clear. Vaping is not safe for youth.
Because vaping can put microscopic particles into your lungs.
And dangerous things like metals into your body.
And nicotine, which can harm a person's brain development through their mid-20s.
With appealing flavors, high nicotine levels, and lot promotion on social media.
Many kids think vaping is harmless, but it's not.
So talk to your kids about the risks of vaping.
Sponsored by SAMHSA and Nebraska DHHS. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Brokers Insurance Agency is currently hiring full-time and part-time insurance professionals. They will provide you with the training and education to obtain your insurance licenses. Brokers Insurance Agency takes pride in educating clients with the best insurance program to help their clients meet their specific goals. If you're a hardworking, motivated person and would like to discuss a great career opportunity with Brokers Insurance Agency, please call Ken Richards at 402-420-5353 or email service@brokersinsuranceagencyne.com. The team at Brokers Insurance Agency is looking forward to helping you get started with your insurance career.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back with Vershawn Jackson on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Yeah. It's the captain. We're on 93.7 The Ticket, talking to Jamal Lord. And during the break, I was just thinking to myself, like, how many 10-win quarterbacks has Nebraska had in our entire history? If you're listening, here's some Sutter Heyman text line at 464-5685. Give me that answer. How many 10-win quarterbacks has Nebraska had in our history? Molly G, you still there?
I'm still here, boss.
You know the answer to that question? How many you think?
I mean, man, there's a couple. There's a couple out there. I'm gonna say is maybe 20 or so.
Yeah,
I don't know. I couldn't give you names, but I'm gonna say I can give you 20.
Life after football. How's it been for you? What you been up to?
Living life, bro. You know what I mean? Just had another baby boy, so just blessed. Birthday's today.
Hey,
so,
listen,
you
you messed it up for me. I just figured that out. I was gonna tell you happy birthday, man.
I appreciate you, bro.
How
you know
in the world did I pick you on your birthday?
Yeah.
Did you think I knew it?
No, I think hey, I call it perfect timing.
That's it. How important? Hey, listen,
perfect timing.
now that we talked about that perfect timing, how important is timing when you talk about offenses?
It's everything. You know what I mean? Like everything has to be moving at the same speed. Like you can't have the running back outrun his old lineman on pitches. You know what I mean? You can't run that 43 dive pass or two lay flat. You ain't chip that in real fast. You know what I mean?
Right.
On your way out.
Right. You get out there too fast, you'll never
all
get
about
it to
timing, boss.
Right. What's your most memorable game as a Husker?
Most memorable game as a Husker?
Yeah, like what's the bet? What's your in your eyes? You know, like I remember the most memorable game for me. If you
It had
talk
to be
about
A&M.
yeah, why?
We played A&M my junior year at A&M. You know what I mean? Because it was a crazy atmosphere down there, and I think we lost Texas. I think week before or something like that. It was something crazy. And in that game, I think it was down by like 20 or something like that. We came back and beat them. So yeah. I remember that kind of game. That was a good game for everybody. I think David Horn got busy that game actually. And he had like 4 touchdowns.
David Horn. Wow, that's a name. Blast from
Definitely.
the past. We gotta have D Horn on too, because that was an intricate part of. I mean, a lot of people don't understand that those teams going all the way back, there was still history of Nebraska football.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And
Definitely.
if you didn't understand the history, 9 times out of 10 you wasn't going to play. When we talk history, what do you remember about Nebraska history? What's something that we did that made us great?
Pound you to death, bro. Our O-line has always been dominant. Our O-line, D-line has always been dominant, bro. Always been. Always been. You know what I mean? And it changed. It changed. It's not the same. They're not dominant.
Can we get back there?
They're not
Though?
as dominant, bro.
Can we get back there?
Yeah. Why not? They're out there.
How?
There's kids out there. What you mean how? The dad not gonna leave the kids indoors. Give them that NIL deal.
Show me the money.
Whatever you got to do. Whatever you got to do. No, it was bad though, because in school we couldn't meet no boosters. You know what I mean? Like they kept us away from the boosters. But now they got to be up front and center.
It's a free for all.
Up front and center.
What do you think about that as far as the NIL deal? What do you think about that?
I like it. Bam. Or shut up. You know what I mean? Family, shut up. And that's what you got to do to win championships, BJ. That's what you got to do, bro. This is a new day and age. This is a new day and age. It ain't the same. You know what I mean? Pay you like under the table. No. This is up front and center. What you got for me?
How much you got?
How much you got?
Why you got that?
Because you know what? Because this team's offering this. What you got? I like you guys and everything. You know what I mean? I think you're cool. But what you got?
So now, are we in professional collegiate sports? Is it professional college now?
Yeah. If you want to win.
So let me ask you a question. Now that they have the transfer portal, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's 2001. Eric Crouch is winning the Heisman. Do you transfer? Because he hadn't won the Heisman at that point, and you had been a backup for 3 years. Do you transfer? Do you use the portal?
No.
Why not?
Like I said, I don't know.
Was it the teammates? Because for me, even though I wasn't playing, I was on scout team. There was a time that I thought about transferring, and I was talking, like I wanted to transfer, and then I had to go talk to the Cluster Johnsons and some of my older brothers in the faith who was like, listen, you need to finish what you started.
Right.
And at Nebraska, it's going to be 5 deep. There is a wait before you elevate and you play. You have to put the work in. But for me, the NIL deal goes. It's a flip-flop for me. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. I like it because guys will get their just due like colleges did. But I don't like it is because a player will opt out of playing for a team at the first sign of problems.
Right. And that's on every campus. So you can't avoid that kind of situation. So if you're not built for it, you're going to skip school every year, BJ. You're going to be in a different school every year. And that's crazy.
Well, but here's the deal, though. What I like about like Texas and some other schools, they're tying it to you staying in the program. And I would also like to see if instead of us giving these players this money right now, I think that you bank the money. You bank it. When you graduate or leave school, that's when you get it. Because if you giving 17, 18-year-old kid $1 million, what is that going to do to his psyche?
They get that right then and there? Like they get it on signing day?
I don't know how that works. I'm trying to dig. I'm trying to dig into it. But how else would it? Well, here, put it like this: Texas, we're talking $50,000 for their offensive lineman. They're giving their offensive lineman $50,000 a year. So every year they're there, they get another $50,000.
That's cool.
Man, I want a red shirt. I'm a red shirt no matter how good I think I am. I'm a red shirt because I need that good. I need that good 50 first. Let me bank that 50 first, and then I got 4 more 50s to come. Now, if you tie it to them finishing, now they have to finish to get the money. If they leave school, you don't get any money. But you gotta somehow, some way, you have to keep the yeah.
And if you're good enough, you leave and go to the NFL anyway and get paid anyway. So I get it.
Okay.
I get it.
So I'm gonna go.
There's got to be rules to it.
I'm gonna go to the text line real quick. Turd Ferguson, old turd said we win 10 games in 1903, 1963, 65, 71, 72, 75, 79, 80, 82, 83, 84, 85, or 86, 87, 88. Wow. 89.
You ask how many quarterbacks, right?
Yeah.
How many years?
Right. Turd Ferguson, don't be a turd. I'm asking about the quarterbacks because you got to think 94, 95 was Tommy Frazier. 96, 97 was Scott Frost. So you got 99, 2000, 2001, Eric Crouch.
Yeah.
03, you. 09, I don't know. 10, but we're going to find out. I got to take a lightweight break real quick, Jamal. I'll be right back. It's the captain, the ticket, 93.7.
And now a limerick from the world of Yum.
There once was a man in a bind. He's got the best wife in all mankind. And with Valentine's Day not that far away, he needs the greatest gift he can find. Jewelry can be hit or miss, and that vacuum was quickly dismissed. Flowers, they die. Homemade, don't be that guy. But what about that bakery in Beatrice? Liqueur cakes, you'll eat every crumb. Fruit cakes made with brandy, bourbon, and rum. And those chocolate cake squares. Do I have to drive you there? Get yourself to the world of Yum. You know that feeling after a good, hearty meal? The worries of the world just slip away. Time slows down. Nothing but good times and good company. That's what you get with Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Mary Ellen's does food right, with a menu that includes smoked wings, pulled pork, brisket, catfish. And don't sleep on their sides, shrimp and grits, collard greens, baked beans. It's food that makes your heart happy. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul, just east of 27th and Pineland. Let them fix you a plate.
At Southeast Community College, we know that winter isn't even here yet, but spring is already on our minds. Registration for the spring 2022 semester is open now. Whether you want to get a head start on a 4-year degree, learn a new trade with a certificate program, or add to your job skills, SCC has a class for you. Spring semester starts January 10th. Learn more about our more than 60 programs of study online at southeast.edu. SCC, your path to possible.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
Ed Orgeron joins us. You have told me before you have a genuine fondness for the state of Nebraska. Why is that?
I always liked Nebraska. Growing up, watching Nebraska, Monty Kiffin, Tom Osborne, the great teams there. I just always liked Nebraska. I just think it's a great school, great state, great football, tough, hard-nosed football players.
Early Break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
At Buffalo Wings and Rings, they've crafted a new league of superior chicken sandwiches. Meet the Ringers. It's premium, house-made, beer-battered, fried chicken served buffalo, Korean, or MVP style. Head to Buffalo Wings and Rings Lincoln and raise a glass to superior chicken. 2 locations at 68th and O and at 40th and Old Cheney. Buffalo Wings and Rings.
This is Dan Friedman. In recent years, over 1/3 of all Nebraska traffic crashes have been caused by drivers aged 15 to 19. If you're a teen driver, don't become another statistic. Keep your eyes on the road. And if you're a parent, please remember that safe driving habits start with you. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices. For almost 60 years, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
Brokers Insurance Agency is currently hiring full-time and part-time insurance professionals. They will provide you with the training and education to obtain your insurance licenses. Brokers Insurance Agency takes pride in educating clients with the best insurance program to help their clients meet their specific goals. If you're a hardworking, motivated person and would like to discuss a great career opportunity with Brokers Insurance Agency, please call Ken Richards at 402-420-5353 or email service@brokersinsuranceagencyne.com. The team at Brokers Insurance Agency is looking forward to helping you get started with your insurance career.
You spend more time in your garage than outdoors in the wintertime. Isn't it time to get it organized? Call Travis at Classic Garage Solutions for his variety of organization packages. Turn your garage from a cluttered mess to a clean, organized space that'll be the envy of the neighborhood and something you can be proud of. You don't need to bring the same clutter from last year into the new year. Travis has storage options for cabinets, monkey bar shelving, or slat wall, and more. Call Classic Garage Solutions today at 402-730-1638.
Hey everyone, it's Nicole Griffith from Ticket Weeknights. Join me tonight at Upside Bar and Lounge as we're broadcasting live and on location. They'll have the national championship game between Alabama and Georgia up on all the TVs. And of course, Monday night is taco night at Upside. 50-cent hard shells, $1 soft shells, and $3 house margs while you watch the big game. It's Ticket Weeknights with me, Nicole Griffith, live from Upside Bar and Lounge at 27th and Pine Lake tonight, January 10th from 6 to 8 p.m.
Brokers Insurance Agency is currently hiring full-time and part-time insurance professionals. They will provide you with the training and education to obtain your insurance licenses. Brokers Insurance Agency takes pride in educating clients with the best insurance program to help their clients meet their specific goals. If you're a hardworking, motivated person and would like to discuss a great career opportunity with Brokers Insurance Agency, please call Ken Richards at 402-420-5353 or email service@brokersinsuranceagencyne.com. The team at Brokers Insurance Agency is looking forward to helping you get started with your insurance career.
This is 93.7 The Ticket.
Look at me, sure. Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
3-time national champion Vershawn Jackson.
I got a bunch all alone is Vershawn Jackson. And Vershawn will get it to the 24-yard line.
Coming at you live from the Coppels Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Here he is, Vershawn Jackson.
Ah, yeah!
Breaking news from the captain in the show. Bill Busch named new special teams coordinator for the University of Nebraska. I think that's a good get. I think when you have to, somebody needs to be responsible for the special teams.
Hey, hey, hey! It's Bud Albert, and I'm gonna sing a song for you. And we're gonna show you a thing or two. You'll have some fun now with me and all the gang, learning from each other while we do our thing.
Yeah, wah, wah, wah. We're going to have a good time Jamal Lord has joined us, one of my super friends. Jamal, thanks for coming again.
No problem.
Was Bill Bush there when you were there still?
What's the name?
Bill Bush.
Bill Bush.
Might have been gone by the time you got there. He might have been gone,
Yeah.
but he was a GA when I was there, and he also coached at LSU and some other teams. But let's talk a little bit about special teams since we're on that subject. This is my motto. Special players make special plays on special teams. How important is special teams to any football program?
That's big because some teams take that for granted. You know what I mean? And you lose that way. I mean, you miss field goals, get field goals blocked. I mean, it's just a bunch of things that can happen on special teams. Field position, there's a bunch of different things that can happen on that side of the ball that can affect the whole game. You know what I mean? And if you take it for granted, you'd be 3-9 or 2-10 or whatever you are.
Have you paid attention to a lot of the moves that are being made here in Lincoln?
No, not really.
It's kind of tough, right?
Yeah, it's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. All I want to see is a final product. I guess it showed me that because I'm not really behind the scenes, seeing what's going on. So at the end of the day, I'm an outsider looking in anyway. So just show me what's going on when it's all said and done.
And the only how you do that is on the field, right? With the finished product.
Win games.
Well,
win games.
When the last time you've been to Lincoln? When the last time you've been to a game?
I don't know. Maybe it's been a couple years now. I'm not sure the exact amount, but it's been a couple years. I think it might have been Scott's first year.
Okay. When you look at, what's been going on, let's just talk the last 4 years. How do we change that narrative? What has to happen in order to excel past, let's call it 7-7? Because I think sometimes fans want 7-7, and for so long around here, like you said, when you guys went 7-7, it was like the world just got flipped upside down.
Yeah.
Now that we're 3 and something and 4 and something and all these other crazy numbers, how do we flip the script and change the narrative?
We got to get back nasty, man. We got to get those guys back. We got to start recruiting those kind of guys again. You know what I mean? And I don't think we're doing that. Or maybe we are, but these kids are built different. Or maybe coaching them different. I don't really know what's going on, bro, but it's just a different mentality. It's a different mindset. It's a way different mindset. Especially if I have $50,000 in my bank account right now, shit. It might change your mindset a little bit. You want to play, but at the end of the day, you're still secure on the back end. Back then, it was just either play or go back to your mama house.
Well,
nobody wants to do that,
right? A lot of people don't understand that when I think you guys might have made a little bit more than we did, but
no,
there was our scholarship checks was like 300. Nah, I'm saying what we got from the school. Our checks made $316. That's what our scholarship checks were, and that was for all your rent. If you was living in an apartment, you had to pay your rent. You had to get food. You had to do all those things on that amount of money as far as what the school gave us. Now, you had your Pell Grant. Everybody partook in the Pell Grant a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you got some monies, but it was nowhere near the type of show that they're talking about right now when a kid can come in and make $50,000 in 1 year, and all he had to do was sign his name on the dotted line.
It's different, man. It's different mentality. Way different mentality got going on these days.
Talk about Houston playing for a professional team. What was the differences between playing at Nebraska and playing for Houston? But the position change.
It wasn't really no different. You know what I mean? It was the same type of structure with Dom Capers being the head coach. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, these are all grown-ass men now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You're not a child anymore. Not 19 or 20. I mean, you're 23, 24 years old, or whatever the case may be. You might have a family now. You know what I mean? You might have a son or a daughter. You know what I mean? It just now everything has changed. Everything has changed. You go from playing for free to playing for a contract. That second and third contract. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, you got grown men that's trying to protect their spots. With the young guys coming in, they don't want to help you out and things like that because they know that you're going to take their spot. So, as they're not there as hopeful. So it's a big difference. But at the end of the day, it's learning experience. And if you don't know, then you don't know.
So how was it? We're going to go to the Sutter Heyman text line. We got a text from Ben. Ben asked you, what is it like having to follow Eric Crouch?
What do you mean? I didn't have a choice. Somebody had to follow Tommy Frazier. You know what I mean? Somebody had to follow Scott Frost. Somebody had to follow Turner Gill. I was just next in line.
I mean, what can you say to that? I mean, it was what it was. I think sometimes we see these guys every day. They're just normal people. But then when you think about Eric Crouch,
that's what it is.
You think about Eric Crouch, the Heisman Trophy winner. Now, for you, some people might think that was pressure on you because he won the Heisman, which is just next man up.
It was definitely next man. I mean, look all the great running backs we had, the great eye backs we had, the great DBs we had. They can't be replaced as well. It just so happened that the guy that came before me won the Heisman.
So I'm looking at something, and Texas A&M has 6 5-star players. They allegedly paid upwards of $30 million.
Between the 6 of them?
No, between their entire, they got the number 1 recruiting class in the country. And I'm saying they got 6 5-stars, which we were talking about this with Octavius McFarland. That's kind of unheard of to get that many 5-star athletes to one school, because normally you have about 30 5-star athletes in the entire class for that year. So to get, that's a big time percentage to get 5 or 6 of them. But not only that, Taylor, thanks for that text, man. Taylor, the electric guy, that's who sent me that text about that. $30 million. So what does that look like? What does paying a one recruiting class $30 million look like? That's a lot of choke. Come on, man.
Of money, brother. So a lot of expectations too. You know what I mean? So you pay them guys that money, you expect them to go out there and win some games, beat Alabama, beat Auburn, you know what I mean? Beat these teams. And that's going to be hard.
They are going to be expected because now they just became professionals.
Oh, definitely, without a doubt.
Now,
and they going into what? And they going into Texas, which you got Texas. You said that's A&M, right?
Mm-hmm. Texas A&M.
So now you got Texas in that class. You got Texas Tech. You got Baylor, who was just in the BTA. You know what I mean? You got some good teams in Texas alone that didn't up the ante now. Well, you want to go to A&M? They paying me this. How much can you give me?
Don't you think don't you think that is not, that's going to do more? It's not going to level the playing field at all.
No, it's not level now without the money. So it's not level now because I don't think anybody's going to beat Alabama in the next, as long as Nick Saban's there. That whole SEC conference is a powerhouse, bro.
I don't know. I don't know. I think that it'll come down to X's and O's at this point, but I think you're leveling the playing field if you got more money. If I got more money than you do, believe me, if we're gambling, I'm beating you. I got more money.
If you're not, like you said, if we're gambling, some people are not willing to gamble with their money like that. It would be conservative. No,
you can't.
We'll go to 3-9. Ebony County State over Billy instead of us going 9 and 3, and the bank account maybe drop a little bit to maybe 999 million. You know what I mean? It just who's willing to spend that money? Who's really willing to do that?
Listen, if I was playing in this age, I would absolutely positively love it. Because
definitely.
I want the money too. Show me the money.
A kid or something growing up in this kind of crazy nonsense.
Yeah,
bro,
I mean,
we're getting ready right now, BJ.
Right.
We're getting ready right now.
And it's going. You hear that?
It's about the money.
We know that song, right?
It's about the money.
Listen, I hope that for the love of money, that guys will work for their money and not think that, because I got paid, now I can just go on cruise control. If you're going to give some kids some money, you better tie it to performance.
You better be a dog about it, too. You better be a dog about it. So, I mean, you better go and get it. Like you said, you better go work for it. It's not going to come easy. But some of the kids are not built like that. Like I said, they build a little different. They build with, what they call it these days? Entitlement. They're like, okay, I deserve this. I'm like, well, you ain't put no work in yet. But I get it. At the end of the day, I get it. So it's all about potential.
I know, but it seems like we're breeding that type of behavior and that mindset
in
this day and age with the transfer portal, and I get it. But at the end of the day, at some point, the transfer portal needs to be closed. I'm just saying, it's a free-for-all. Okay, I get it. COVID hit. We got to get ourselves situated. But, okay, it's been a couple of years. The transfer portal needs to come to a close. We need to make sure that the kids are learning responsibility, that when you choose to do something, you carry it out, or you at least give it the college try. You don't, as soon as adversity hits, get up. I'm going to pack my bags. I'm taking my basketball, and I'm leaving.
Well, that's where your parents come in at too, bro. At the other end, it just can't be the coaches. It has to be the parents that's involved. So, like, well, you signed up for this, you know what I mean? You're going to figure shit out. Or at the end of the day, if that parent had even been through that kind of situation, you know what I mean? I'd have some kind of better insight about what's going on. But some of these parents had never played in college. You know what I mean? Had never even been to college at the end of the day, but they don't know what's going on. But if you have a parent, like, for instance, this new guy that comes in Nebraska,
Casey Thompson.
His father played. He played at college football, so he's looking at it like way differently than anybody else is. You know what I mean? Because he want to know. Well, I'm hoping he's thinking like this because as a parent, that's how I'm thinking. Like, yo, who's blocking for my son? Who's my son throwing the ball to? You know what I mean? Who's coaching my son?
No,
they're asking these questions. As a parent, I'm asking these questions because at the end of the day, I've been through it. I've seen how it go down behind the scenes. I don't know what's going on right now before I send my son there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what makes the Thompson get so much better is because his dad has played at a high level.
Yeah. Definitely.
I agree. I mean, he knows what he's getting into for the next 2 years. They know what the expectation is, what he needs to do, and what that's going to look like.
Definitely, because he understands. He understands. As somebody who's been through it before, they're letting him know before he even signs up. They're letting him know, hey, this is how it's going to be. You trying to shoot the last dude? That's how it's going to be if he don't shine here. It's going to be the same way. If you don't succeed, you get the same noise in the crowd. You get the same who do saying the same things. So, you signed up for it, sir? Let's finish it.
Correct. Jay and Lincoln thinks that this will kind of cut back on kids leaving school early, which I do think so, Jay. And if they're getting paid for 4 years, as long as you're tying that to them staying at the school, I think they will stay in school if they're getting paid to do it. I mean, I ain't going. I'm getting $50,000 a year. Guess where I ain't going? Nowhere.
But unless you're good enough to be a first-round draft pick and you getting that, you know what I mean? a couple $1 million signing bonus, then you're in a whole nother boat.
No,
for
but
the other kids.
No, but I'm
You know what I
saying
mean?
as far as transferring, as far as like going, you know what I'm saying, after 3 years I'm not playing or 2 years I'm not playing, so I'm
Okay, I get what
disgruntled.
you're
So,
saying. I get what you're saying. I got you. I
yeah,
got
now I want to get the heck out of Dodge.
I got you.
This is what Jim says on the Sauter Heyman text line. He says, I will go to my grave knowing that Jamal Lord was every bit as good as a quarterback as Eric Crouch. Eric enjoyed a better team around him. It would be interesting to see what Jamal could have done with the offensive lines and the running backs that we had in the mid-90s. That man was an extremely talented quarterback. So I ask you, Molly G, you're playing for the I'm going to be biased. You're playing for the 1997 championship team. You're playing in that offensive line. Do you think your career would have been a little bit different having a lot of pieces around you? And what would you have done?
That year? That defense was solid. You know what I mean? I mean, let's looking back at it now. If I'm on the 97 championship team, is Scott Frost, is he still on that team with me?
No, you're the guy. Scott's gone.
Oh, I'm the guy. Oh,
You're the guy.
championship. I mean, we do the same thing he does.
We win the championship.
I mean, we do the same thing he does. That's without a doubt. Who in the backfield that year? That's you. That's Armand Green.
Yeah, you had a
Who else back
mind.
there?
Well, you had a mind. You had. I asked you about your running back. You said Carell Buckalter. Carell Buckalter was a true freshman. You had Jay Sims. Who else did we have back then that day? Oh, you had D'Angelo Evans.
Jello, or he was something special his freshman year.
Yeah, he was special, man. He should have been he should have been one of the great backs at Nebraska. That was one that I thought got away that could have really been really special because he had the it factor at running back.
I didn't get to play with him. He left my true freshman year.
So
yes, I didn't get to play with him at all.
Here's kind of what I think. If we all would benefit from playing with players around us.
Oh, definitely.
Without a doubt. Yeah, when you have multiple players around you, you tend to succeed. When you have players that when you got to do everything, especially at the quarterback position, you put yourself at it's a bad situation because you're only one guy. You back there running for your life. How is that sometimes having to run for your life? I go back and I watch the games for a reason so that when I do the interviews, I know exactly what you were thinking. Now, what was that like in that 7-7 year running for your life?
I signed up for it, BJ. I mean, I didn't know how I signed up before, but I signed up for everything that came with it. You know what I mean? I'm expecting championship, you know what I mean? Because I'm there for a reason. I went to Nebraska for a reason. I'm around these guys for a reason. All these guys are, you know what I mean, are the best players in their areas. So, you know what I mean? And coming into it 7-7, I'm thinking, all right, well, at first we had no experience. Like I said, I sat behind Eric Crouch that, I mean, the whole, at the end of the whole year previous. You know what I mean?
So 2 years you sat behind Eric.
But they was doing what they had to do with him. I wasn't complaining because I was happy to see him do what he was doing. I mean, so I was watching too at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, when you go to work, you do the work. Nobody's doing the work for you. So us getting in the game was like, okay, it's like being a freshman again. We learning on the run instead of having those previous 2 years of knowledge. It wasn't really like that. I'm not complaining. You know what I mean? I was happy to be there, but at the end of the day, that 7-7 year was like just basically being freshman again.
Now, listen, I thought but Eric Crouch was one of the best. I love his mentality. I love who he was as a player, but to be groomed in under him, how good was he?
He was tough. That sucker was tough, bro. He went out before. I mean, they didn't give that. I mean, he deserved that. That dude played ball, bro. I mean, every game he played ball. And like you said, being the quarterback at that time, they knew that he was going to get the ball. He was back there doing his thing, bro. I mean, he'll get rocked and get him to fix his socks and get back in the huddle. Like nothing just happened. That dude was a warrior, bro. That dude was the truth.
Wow. And that, I mean, and again, I appreciate that because I believe that same thing. I mean, he has to go through a lot, and he continues to fight through it. I do think he was a freak and a once in a generational athlete for anonymous tech. Oh yeah.
Without a doubt.
Oh yeah.
Cheeseburger thing with that situation him and Bobby went through, and then him just going through that and just flaming. You know what I mean? Just taking off from there. That dude's incredible, bro.
Okay, Marley G, I want to bring you back for one more segment. I'm the captain. It's the ticket. 93.7. We'll get to your Sauter Heyman text line text that's lighting up right now. Send in the text if you want Marley G to answer. We'll have a small segment. We'll be right back at you.
Brokers Insurance Agency is currently hiring full-time and part-time insurance professionals. They will provide you with the training and education to obtain your insurance licenses. Brokers Insurance Agency takes pride in educating clients with the best insurance program to help their clients meet their specific goals. If you're a hardworking, motivated person and would like to discuss a great career opportunity with Brokers Insurance Agency, please call Ken Richards at 402-420-5353 or email service@brokersinsuranceagencyne.com. The team at Brokers Insurance Agency is looking forward to helping you get started with your insurance career.
This is Dan Friedman. In recent years, over 1/3 of all Nebraska traffic crashes have been caused by drivers aged 15 to 19. If you're a teen driver, don't become another statistic. Keep your eyes on the road. And if you're a parent, please remember that safe driving habits start with you. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices. For almost 60 years, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive. Always honest answers.
Security First Bank. We're the bank, and we make your mortgage more manageable with flexible terms, trusted advice, and competitive rates. When you work with us, we'll know your name, but we'll also get to know your home dreams too. Security First Bank of Lincoln. Voted best small bank in Nebraska by Newsweek magazine. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender. NMLS number 505011.
Hey everyone, it's Nicole Griffith from Ticket Weeknights. Join me tonight at Upside Bar and Lounge as we're broadcasting live and on location. They'll have the national championship game between Alabama and Georgia up on all the TVs. And of course, Monday night is taco night at Upside. 50-cent hard shells, $1 soft shells, and $3 house margs while you watch the big game. It's Ticket Weeknights with me, Nicole Griffith, live from Upside Bar and Lounge at 27th and Pine Lake tonight, January 10th from 6 to 8 p.m.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
Ed Orgeron joins us. You have told me before you have a genuine fondness for the state of Nebraska. Why is that?
You know, I always liked Nebraska. Growing up, watching Nebraska, Monty Kiffin, Tom Osborne, the great teams there. I just always liked Nebraska. I just think it's a great school, great state, great football, tough, hard-nosed football players.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
You know that feeling after a good, hearty meal? The worries of the world just slip away. Time slows down. Nothing but good times and good company. That's what you get with Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Mary Ellen's does food right with a menu that includes smoked wings, pulled pork, brisket, catfish. And don't sleep on their sides. Shrimp and grits, collard greens, baked beans. It's food that makes your heart happy. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul, just east of 27th and Pine Lake. Let them fix you a plate.
You spend more time in your garage than outdoors in the wintertime. Isn't it time to get it organized? Call Travis at Classic Garage Solutions for his variety of organization packages. Turn your garage from a cluttered mess to a clean, organized space that'll be the envy of the neighborhood and something you can be proud of. You don't need to bring the same clutter from last year into the new year. Travis has storage options for cabinets, monkey bar shelving, or slat wall, and more. Call Classic Garage Solutions today at 402-730-1638.
Parents, if you've been waiting for FDA approval to get your teen vaccinated, the time is now. The FDA has approved the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine for use in preventing COVID-19. While this is the first vaccine to gain FDA approval, all COVID-19 vaccines have been proven to be effective against the coronavirus. Want to reduce your teen's risk of hospitalization while protecting yourself and your community? Get your teen vaccinated today. Visit vaccinate.ne.gov to get started.
At Buffalo Wings and Rings, they've crafted a new league of superior chicken sandwiches. Meet the Ringers. It's premium, house-made, beer-battered, fried chicken served Buffalo, Korean, or MVP style. Head to Buffalo Wings and Rings Lincoln and raise a glass to superior chicken. 2 locations at 68th and O and at 40th and Old Cheney. Buffalo Wings and Rings.
At Southeast Community College, we know that winter isn't even here yet, but spring is already on our minds. Registration for the spring 2022 semester is open now. Whether you want to get a head start on a 4-year degree, learn a new trade with a certificate program, or add to your job skills, SCC has a class for you. Spring semester starts January 10th. Learn more about our more than 60 programs of study online at southeast.edu. SCC, your path to possible.
Back with Vershawn Jackson on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, I'm going surfing. That's right. Surf with us a little bit. I'm still here. I'm interviewing Jamal, the man Lord, one of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of Nebraska football. I got a question I thought about, Jamal. You're there at Nebraska for 3 years, right?
Yes, sir.
Eric Crouch is leaving, and they go and get a quarterback in the transfer portal. How do you respond?
What do you mean how you respond? I don't care who they got coming in. I'm going to play.
You don't leave?
No, I don't leave.
Okay. See, that's the mentality I'm talking about right there. That's called mentality.
Like
Winning
I said,
mentality.
I signed up for this. I'm not leaving until I finish doing what I'm doing. That's just what it is.
Win, lose, or draw.
Win, lose, or draw. I signed up for this. I mean, like I said, going into it, not having any kind of knowledge of what's really going on, I signed up for it, regardless. I got to stay and figure it out now.
So Cheeseburger says, I understand where it comes from, and I'm excited about the NCAA football gaming to come back. But that is what NIL is. Mentor for along with kids, getting sponsorships to do commercials and such. Not get paid. Well, you guys are hitting me. I couldn't not get paid to come to school. What do you think about that? Is NIL messing up the program?
No. But at the end of the day, these kids can't get jobs on the season. You know what I mean? They can't. They're different. They have a real 9-to-9 job. I mean, let's be realistic about it. All the time that these kids are put in on campus, they deserve that money. You know what I mean? Let's be realistic. They got to wake up in the morning. Let's say early in the morning. Let's say 6 o'clock. Go work out. Go eat breakfast. I go to class. I go to practice. Go back to class. Go back to the study hall. By the time you know it, It's 10 o'clock p.m. You know what I mean?
All day affair. From start to finish, you got stuff going on. You don't ever have time really to do anything. Except for
money,
eat,
bro.
sleep, football, school. Eat,
And you
sleep.
you eat with the people that you work with, that you play football with, that other athletes and other, you know what I mean? So you're ready to separate from everybody else. Pay them their money, bro. Pay them their money.
I mean, I definitely think that they should pay. But just to go back to when we talked about 10-win quarterbacks, there is only listen, give or take a couple up or down, okay? But there's about 10 quarterbacks
That's it.
in the history of
I said
Nebraska.
20.
Huh?
I said 20.
Yeah, it's 10. Can you believe that? 10.
I didn't know that. I think it'd be. I don't know.
I thought it would be more too. But I mean, you got to think when you look at the whole grand scheme of things, most quarterbacks, for the most part, at least was the starter for 2 years.
At least.
At least. But that just goes to show you how great you guys were, the quarterbacks that won 10 games, because we talking about a program that's been around since what? The late 1700s?
The bug
1800s?
The good old bug eaters.
The bug eaters?
We weren't playing that many games back then, though. So
yeah, man, I get it, but you still got to I still take my hat off to all 10 of those quarterbacks who were able to eclipse the 10.
You know the 10?
Say again?
You know the 10 by name?
I don't, but you know what? That's going to be something for another show. I can probably.
I got 5.
I was getting ready to say, give me 5.
I give you Turner Gill.
Give me 5. Turner Gill.
Eric. Tommy. Scott.
Okay.
Jamal Lord.
You said Eric Crouch?
Yeah, Eric. Definitely Eric.
What years was
So you got Turner Gill, Scott Frost, Tommy Frazier, Eric Crouch, Jamal Lord.
Yeah, and then you go back to the 60s. I'm gonna have that. Ticket fans, I'll have that for you guys tomorrow. I'll try to dig that up and find out who were those 10.
Fred Ferragamo?
Yeah. Well, you got 70 and 71, so I think that was or 71, 72. I can't remember exactly his name right offhand, but
yeah, definitely.
You got that. So that was 6. And it'll come to me, but he was one of the great quarterbacks as well. Anonymous says free education, free food, free room and board just isn't enough anymore, I guess.
Nothing's free. Nothing's free.
So the free food
Nothing's
wasn't enough.
free. Nothing's free.
Okay. Free education,
Like
not
I said,
enough.
I'm from the outside looking in. It looks all it's all glitz and glamour from the outside looking in. But when you in there, ain't got to do what they want you to do. It's a whole nother story. But I get it though.
So let's go back over your list again real quick, because Kelsey, the Mississippi Mud Dog, he said Jerry Taggy is who I was trying to come up with. Taggy and
Jerry
Rutherford.
Taggy definitely got busy.
Jerry Taggy, Turner Gill, Tommy Frazier, Scott Frost, Eric Crouch, Jamal Lord, Taylor Martinez, Jerry. Oh, we got Jerry Taggy, Steve Taylor. That's 8. We're missing 2 more.
And Tommy Armstrong, maybe?
No, Tommy Armstrong didn't win 10, did he?
I think he might have won 10. I don't know.
With Bo Pelini?
Yeah, with Bo.
You know, you might be right on that. The great Tommy Armstrong might have won 10. We're going to have Tommy on, too. I got to have Tommy up here.
When they beat Georgia in the bowl game.
Well, what about when we beat Clemson in 20? It was one of those years we beat Clemson in the bowl game as well in Jacksonville. Jeremy says Dave Home. Okay, that's 9. That's 9, Jeremy. We need 10. Is it Tommy Armstrong? Hey, you know what? We're gonna have a Beatrice Bakery moment. If you get this question right, who was the 10th quarterback to win more than 10 games at the University of Nebraska? We're gonna give you some sweet treats from Beatrice Bakery.
I'm telling you.
I'm again, to have 10 guys in the history of Nebraska football for the most part to win 10 games, man. Shout out to you, my friend, for being one of those guys and being a guy who is a not only a hard-nosed guy, but you kind of epitomize what a Husker football player should be when you say that you can sit behind a guy for 3 years, learn from the guy, and then when it's your turn, be able to excel at a high level, man. I take my hat off to you, Molly.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you, kindly. I mean, I had to look up to guys like you that was setting the tone back then. In the mid '90s, late '90s. So you guys placed the ball real high. But that's why most kids go to that school. You know what I mean? To achieve this, just be on the same. I can't say on the same level because you guys are way up. I mean, you guys are legends, like legends. You know what I mean? We were just. We've been faster service than what you guys did, but
y'all legends too, man.
Guys, it's an honor, bro.
I know, but you guys are legends too. Like I'm a Husker historian. I'm a Husker fan, man. I've been a Husker fan since I was 5, so I love all levels of Husker football. I think it's all relevant, and we all played a piece to the bigger picture. You got 2 young boys now, man. You already setting them for a career in football or what?
I don't care what they do, brother. Just like I said, just finish it. Whatever you do, we gonna finish it. That's all that really matters to us, bro. That's all that really matters to me, or else we wouldn't have a conversation right now. You know what I mean? I'd have been left Nebraska. I'd have left maybe after 7-7 or during 7-7. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I'd look myself in the mirror and say, "Hey, man, you signed up for this. You can finish this."
Well, I'll tell you what, man, we appreciate you finishing your career at Nebraska. You had a great career. I appreciate you coming on the show. I definitely want to have you back on again, Molly G. It's always a treat to talk to you on the phone and in person. If it's what can you just kind of a parting ways, what do you want to say to the Husker fans as far as anything you want to say to Husker country?
I mean, I love you guys. I mean, just be patient with these young kids. You know what I mean? Don't quick to judge them. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, they're still kids. They're still maybe not your child, but it's somebody else's child. You know what I mean? Let's be responsible adults about this. You know what I mean? Let me quickly judge these kids. One love.
Molly G, give me your best Go Big Red.
Go Big Red!
Go Big Red. That's right. Yeah. Molly G on the ticket with the captain. 93.7. We'll be right back at you.
What are you doing, Sip?
I thought the chickens could use some more light in their lives.
So you're building what exactly?
It's a motion censored switchboard.
Duh. Are you sure you know what you're doing?
Of course. Ow! God!
Ow! Seems like a job for a professional.
Just one more wire. Yep, there you go, right there.
Don't be like Sip. Call Joe at Ambition Electric for any of your electric needs at 402-217-3415.
At Southeast Community College, we know that winter isn't even here yet, but spring is already on our minds. Registration for the spring 2022 semester is open now. Whether you want to get a head start on a 4-year degree, learn a new trade with a certificate program, or add to your job skills, SCC has a class for you. Spring semester starts January 10th. Learn more about our more than 60 programs of study online at southeast.edu. SCC, your path to possible.
Parents, if you've been waiting for FDA approval to get your teen vaccinated, the time is now. The FDA has approved the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine for use in preventing COVID-19. While this is the first vaccine to gain FDA approval, all COVID-19 vaccines have been proven to be effective against the coronavirus. Want to reduce your teen's risk of hospitalization while protecting yourself and your community? Get your teen vaccinated today. Visit vaccinate.ne.gov to get started.
Security First Bank. We're the bank, and we make your mortgage more manageable with flexible terms, trusted advice, and competitive rates. When you work with us, we'll know your name, but we'll also get to know your home dreams too. Security First Bank of Lincoln. Voted Best Small Bank in Nebraska by Newsweek magazine. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. NMLS number 505011.
Fruitcakes are just for Christmas, right? Gosh, I feel sorry for you. I mean, what if we had done that with bacon? Bacon is only for breakfast. We'd never have bacon cheeseburgers. We'd never be able to save a salad by adding bacon bits. We'd never have Brinner. That's breakfast for dinner. Don't limit yourself. Fruitcakes for St. Patrick's Day. Fruitcakes for graduation. Fruitcakes for Thursday. Beatrice Bakery and Grandma's Fruitcakes are perfect for every occasion. Check them out in downtown Beatrice or online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Seasons change, but your land stays the same. You need the right solutions to keep you moving. That's why you rely on Acres Equipment, your Nebraska-owned premier John Deere dealership. Whether you're harvesting, protecting your crops, feeding the herd, maintaining your lawn, improving your business, or letting off some steam, Acres has what you need to get the job done. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 330 North 48th Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Mike Shaver here for Trek CBD. There's a lot of CBD shops opening up in Lincoln, but Trek CBD focuses on quality above all else. Their products are from local CBD company Nico Farms and are third-party laboratory tested. They have products that can help with stress, anxiety, pain, relief, and more, and have a wide selection of Delta 8, including Serene 8. Trek CBD is locally owned and operated. Go visit Scott or Shannon at their 84th and Highway 2 location or at 27th and S, or go online to Trek CBD with free delivery. Trek CBD. CBD done right.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batsterats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
Hey everyone, it's Nicole Griffith from Ticket Weeknights. Join me tonight at Upside Bar and Lounge as we're broadcasting live and on location. They'll have the national championship game between Alabama and Georgia up on all the TVs. And of course, Monday night is taco night at Upside. 50-cent hard shells, $1 soft shells, and $3 house margs while you watch the big game. It's Ticket Weeknights with me, Nicole Griffith, live from Upside Bar and Lounge at 27th and Pine Lake tonight, January 10th from 6 to 8 p.m.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great. We're definitely coming back.
Sure.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Back with Vershawn Jackson on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Yeah. I'm back at you. It's Vershawn Jackson. It's the captain, the ticket. I had one of my super friends on, Marley G, Jamal Lord, awesome quarterback, one of only 10, and this just in from Franklin. Franklin says Brooke Behringer. We also have an anonymous guy who says Gary Godowski. Now listen, I grew up on Gary Godowski, and he was one of those 10-win guys. And Gary Godowski was one of the top quarterbacks to put the pads on at Nebraska too. Who this same Gary Godowski, who we never hear about, is the offensive coordinator for Vanderbilt. Can't believe it. Vanderbilt.
You learn something new every day.
Every day. You should learn.
Also, out of that whole Jamal Lord interview, the most interesting thing was sitting behind those guys, and he never left. It wasn't even an option.
Not in his heart, in his mind, nothing. The game hasn't changed a little bit, but the people have changed.
The way people act.
The way people are, the way people act, the fact that we're willing to give a college student, and it's not enough. Like one of the texters said on the Sauter Heyman text line, it's not enough that they get free board, free room, free this, free food, free all these different things. That's not enough. That now we have to start paying players big money. Now, listen, for 4 or 5 years, players have to sacrifice. It's a major sacrifice. But it's one, like Jamal said, that you signed on for. And I think that we have to start to make sure we call our guys to the carpet. If the NIL is a deal, you know what? We need to be the best at the NIL. We better start showing me the money. Give me the money. Give me the money. Show me the money. Yes. Show us the money.
It's been this big theme song for today.
Yeah, we just, you know what? Let's just let that play. I'm just gonna talk. I'm gonna talk over this.
All right.
Because I think it's important for you guys to understand in the ticket country that right now money is running college football. Not only did it run it before, but now the players are getting paid to be professional athletes. I don't know necessarily that is a good thing or it's a bad thing. I'm still on the fence on whether I think it's good or bad. There's things I like it. There's pros and there's cons to both ways of thinking as far as the NIL deal. There's things that I guarantee you with the playing field being unleveled now, the NCAA is going to have to try to figure out how can they level the playing field.
Yeah, that was one of the concerns going into it when it started back on July 1st of last year. And people kind of knew that was coming, that they're going to have to really make some changes as they go. I mean, it's still young. It is still young. So people are still trying to figure out how to navigate it as well. You want to take Jim?
We'll take Jim.
All right, Jim, what's on your mind, man?
Well, I was just enjoy your guys' show, and I'm just on my way back to work during my lunch break here. But I do have a question about like the abstract idea of college eligibility, especially with NIL money and people being able to get paid. What's to say that you can't, as long as you're enrolled in school, why shouldn't you be able to have eligibility to play football at a college or an institution?
Answer that question. Ask that one more time.
The abstract idea of having eligibility as far as you got 5 years to play for. I mean, it's an abstract idea, I think, especially with NIL money being involved now. Players now, I mean, why not, if you are just being enrolled at the school, why shouldn't you be able to play? As an example, a guy like Tommy Frazier who wasn't going to play NFL football, why couldn't he play 10 years for Nebraska?
Oh, got it.
That's interesting.
Got it.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks, Jim. That's very interesting.
I've never thought of it that way, but because then you're wondering, at some point, when does it become a contract?
Well, you can't play 10 years in college football.
Okay, let's say 7.
I still think it's too. I listen. I get that part. I think that anytime you start paying, there's so many different variables. But to be in school for 10 years, and we would love to have Tommy for 10 years. That'd be sweet. But I don't know, Jim. I think I would love to have. I can't say I would not love to have Tommy Frazier for 10 years. That would have been awesome to keep him around for 10 years. How many championships would we have won in 10 years? But in what they call college football today, I mean, the abstract is, you got 5 years to play for. Seems like now you got 6 and 7 years to play for. But because now, which was different than when we played, if you redshirted, you redshirted. You didn't get to get into 3 or 4 games, and then all of a sudden you're good. So we'll be right back with all of your Sauter Heyman text line and all of that good stuff. It's the captain, and we'll be back with Pancake Pipeline. My bad. Pipeline Pancakes with Aaron Taylor, the Outland Trophy winner and 3-time national champ.
McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket is your headquarters in Lincoln for English Premier League soccer. This Saturday's morning matches feature Norwich City versus Everton at 9, as well as Burnley versus Leicester City, and Newcastle at Watford. On Sunday, West Ham plays Leeds United and Liverpool's at Brentford, with both matches at 8 a.m., and Tottenham heads to Arsenal for a 10:30 a.m. start. Watch all the action, as always, at McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket at 8th and P.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they're hiring for production operators at $21.72 an hour and other select jobs starting at $23.42 an hour, with wages growing up to $27.55 an hour. Continental also has salary jobs available with great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batsterats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 330 North 48th Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket. Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Seasons change, but your land stays the same. You need the right solutions to keep you moving. That's why you rely on Acres Equipment, your Nebraska-owned premier John Deere dealership. Whether you're harvesting, protecting your crops, feeding the herd, maintaining your lawn, improving your business, or letting off some steam, Acres has what you need to get the job done. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
At Southeast Community College, we know that winter isn't even here yet, but spring is already on our minds. Registration for the spring 2022 semester is open now. Whether you want to get a head start on a 4-year degree, learn a new trade with a certificate program, or add to your job skills, SCC has a class for you. Spring semester starts January 10th. Learn more about our more than 60 programs of study online at southeast.edu. SCC, your path to possible.
Hey everyone, it's Nicole Griffith from Ticket Weeknights. Join me tonight at Upside Bar and Lounge as we're broadcasting live and on location. They'll have the national championship game between Alabama and Georgia up on all the TVs. And of course, Monday night is taco night at Upside. 50-cent hard shells, $1 soft shells, and $3 house margs while you watch the big game. It's Ticket Weeknights with me, Nicole Griffith, live from Upside Bar and Lounge at 27th and Pine Lake tonight, January 10th from 6 to 8 p.m.
Fruitcakes are just for Christmas, right? Gosh, I feel sorry for you. I mean, what if we had done that with bacon? Bacon is only for breakfast. We'd never have bacon cheeseburgers. We'd never be able to save a salad by adding bacon bits. We'd never have Brinner. That's breakfast for dinner. Don't limit yourself. Fruitcakes for St. Patrick's Day. Fruitcakes for graduation. Fruitcakes for Thursday. Beatrice Bakery and Grandma's Fruitcakes are perfect for every occasion. Check them out in downtown Beatrice or online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
A sunny and seasonably cool day for our Monday, topping out near 37. Winds will start the day out of the north at 10, but try to change out of the west by late this afternoon. Overnight clear with a low of 22. A nice bounce back in temps for our Tuesday. We should be mainly sunny, southwest winds 10 to 15, and an afternoon high of 52. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth. 93.7 The Ticket. This is 93.7 The Ticket.
Look at me, sure. Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
Three-time national champion Vershawn Jackson.
Oh, got a bunch all alone is Vershawn Jackson. And Vershawn, he'll get it to the 24-yard line.
Coming at you live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Here he is, Vershawn Jackson. Ah, yeah!
That's right. Da-da-da-da. Part-time lover. I better stop doing that for Aaron. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Part-time lover. Yeah. I'm back. It's the captain. Vershawn Jackson on the ticket. 93.7. I got my pipeline pancake brother in the building. Aaron Taylor, what's up, my friend?
How you doing, BJ? You made it a week, buddy.
Hey, man, I made it.
Congrats.
Can you believe that? On time.
I love it. Good for you.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Let's talk Bill Bush. Bill
Love
Bush,
me
new
some Bill
special
Bush.
teams coordinator.
Love it. I love it. Loved him a long time ago, and what a great hire. What a good man. What a good coach. There's nothing but positivity for me. I guess the only thing is why did it take so long, right? But I know there's things behind the scenes on, possibly coaching other positions or, potential contract with LSU, that kind of stuff. But yeah, man, I'm excited for him.
Yeah,
I'm excited for us.
Yeah, I think for us, it's exciting because we actually got somebody that can be held accountable for special teams. Since that's worth 7 to 10 points, somebody's got to be held accountable for it.
You always hear about the three phases of the game, and coaches always say that, how they're all equally important, but they really are. I mean, that's the whole thing, right? I mean, it wasn't a deal, not glory days, but you could take a look at when we played. You can take a look at the good teams that are playing nowadays. A lot of them have we had starters out on the field, and man, when you had guys like Tyrone Williams or Ralph Brown or Mike Brown or all of the wonderful playmakers that we had, and even into the early 2000s, if you will, man, we had some good players there, and they were starters on either offense or defense. And I think, however, we got away from those kind of things, going all the way back to, I don't know if you remember the name Santino Panico.
Ooh.
Long time ago, man, that was rough, but we kind of got away from it. You take a look at special teams at Nebraska, right, BJ? You take a look at them. I was just watching football this past weekend. Sam Koch, I had to Google how long he's been in the league. I was telling my wife, I'm like, he's from Roseland, Nebraska, right? Mm-hmm. He's been with the Baltimore Ravens for, I think, 16 years now. You take a look at Chris Brown. You take a look at Josh Brown. You take a look at a lot of specialists that we had. they've made a lot of years in the NFL and played very, very well. And I'm excited to get back to that, right? I mean, because, you talk about Nebraska, there was potentially the, O-line university, or we would put out great running backs every year, those kind of things. We always put out specialists, always have. And I'm ready to get back to that, right? It's kind of that phase of the game that you don't want to worry about during the game because we were so good, right? Those guys were so good. And I'm ready to get there.
Yeah, but how do you, a lot of times people say, when we get the quarterback out of the portal, then we get another guy, the receiver out of a portal. But what I don't hear about, and it's alarming to me, is Jamal Lewis said this when I asked him, you just got plucked out of a portal. What's the first thing you want? You know what he said? I want to know who's blocking for me. How come there's not a big emphasis on the offensive lineman in the portal?
I think there is. They brought in the one kid from Fordham. I'm not sure if there's still a chance with him. I think, and talking with a couple of friends, that they've got a couple coming in this week. I know they got the FCS All-American coming in. So I think, and of course we got what's his name? Omaha kid that was at Northern Colorado. He's a player, BJ. He's a player.
I'll find out. If you guys know out there on the Sutter Heyman text hotline, please text me the name of that kid.
Yeah, he's a good player. I think he's going to come in and be able to contribute right away, right? So I think you're only looking at 2 to 3 spots on the O-line. Again, I think we touched on a little bit last week. You and I talked is that offensive line position, that group, they're skilled, right? To me, if I'm looking back, I think they're the highest rated, if not close to it, group that Scott Frost has recruited since he's been here, right? I mean, you've got some good players in Corcoran. Of course, you got Juergens leaving. You got Noelle that's played. Bryce Benhart was the number 1 player in Minnesota. You got Brock Bando, is a good player. Ethan Piper. I mean, you've got some good players that I don't think they need to go in and completely overhaul, right? I think what they need to do is I think they need to reorganize, shuffle them around a little bit, maybe move Corcoran inside. If you're looking for that tackle. I don't know. I think what Raiola has ahead of him this spring is going to be a lot of fun for him because he's going to be able to assess what he has. And I think I told him when he talked to me, I said, man, you've got some good, talented players. I said, I think you just got to figure them out, and then you just do what you do to them. So I like that offensive line group. I think they're highly talented. I said this when I spoke to some groups over the past year. If they're good, they're just not reaching their potential.
What do they need to work? As an offensive lineman who played at a high level, what do they need to work on? What does Coach Raiola need to work on with those guys to make them better?
I think the biggest thing is, I would say, I mean, of course, you're going to go into techniques, and we can talk about that and bore us and people to death and have other ideas, those kind of things. But to me, it's just attitude, man. A lot of it is just attitude and want to. You're a whole different breed when you're an offensive lineman, and you know that, BJ. You've seen us, and you saw how close we were, right? Mm-hmm. And we were just a different breed than all the other groups, and there was a level of nastiness too, right? That man, it was all of us working as one unit and just getting after people and doing it again and again and again. If you would have taken that 94, 95, 96, 97 team and asked if they wanted to go to a bowl game, like the team got to vote last year, and they said no, and it was driven by the O-line, that wouldn't have happened, man. The O-line would have said, we're going. Who do we play? I got my cleats in the car. Let's go.
Well, I mean, you almost have to in that situation because it gives you an extra game to work on your craft, to get better, to go against the other competition than the other players. Sean P. said on the text line
I'm with you 100%, but why they vote no?
I don't know. Yeah, but well, here's another.
I think a lot of it is attitude, right? And a lot of it, it's not like I came into the University of Nebraska and I was, full of this piss and vinegar, right? That wasn't me. I had to learn how to be aggressive, how to be nasty, and a lot of that was driven into me by Aaron Graham, by Zach Weger, by Brendan Stye, by those guys that just kind of funneled that down. So I think one of the things they need to step into, somebody's got to step up into that leadership role and kind of be that guy to get everybody together to be who they want to be, right? Mm-hmm. They can talk about it, but they've all got to get there and they've all got to move towards it. I think that guy that would have done it is Cam Jurgens, who left. So it'll be interesting to see who steps up and does it. I can tell you one thing. They're not going to be soft because you got a Raiola coaching them.
I agree with that. They're going to be dogs. But
I told him, I said, hey, you're going to bring some of that Hawaiian nastiness with you? He's like, you know me, man. It doesn't ever leave.
Who do we have?
Like, I love it.
Two things. One, the name was Kevin Williams, I believe, that you were talking about.
That's him.
Sean P.
Watch his tape.
I got to turn it on. Okay, so Sean P. says Kevin Williams. Thank you, Sean P. We're going to turn that tape on.
Yes, sir.
Another thing is, I had an anonymous texter that says, can't say Cochran is a good player when he graded out 0. He graded out as the worst LT at the FBS level. The players need to be coached up, please. What do you think about that? As far as Cochran goes, I thought he's a true freshman. There's not very many true freshmen. I don't think there was a true freshman that played since Richie Incognito. So
yeah, and before that, Will Shields. Listen, I get it. I mean, we could sit and pick it apart, right? Well, was he a very good left tackle at times? Absolutely not, right? I mean, I'm sitting here on my couch watching the games and not happy. I get that.
But
I think
with coaching,
absolutely, and with his physical skills, right? I mean, he's a big, tall, athletic guy. I think he's got the strength. I think he's got the speed. I think he's got the size. Do I think he's a left tackle? No. But that's why I talked about reshuffling, right? Well, what's Raiola going to do to reshuffle? Is Teddy P from Elkhorn South going to be ready to go in? Raiola's not going to be able to see him until fall camp. But so he's going to have to get somebody ready or bring in that JUCO that we were talking about earlier. So, yeah, do I think some of these guys are great at their position? No, but do I think if you moved him down to a guard or center, I think he could work out well, just based upon the athleticism that they have.
So you're basically saying that there is an importance to coaches knowing where to play players that may be out of position, but that can help you greater at another position. Meaning, like with Cochran, he wasn't the best left tackle, right tackle, whatever the case may be. But if you move him inside, he might become great.
Right.
Just based on his body type, based on what he brings to the table. And now you put a little bit of coaching on him, and then we've got a whole completely different. Because I don't know if we listen. Everything is coaching,
and it might be VJ that you move Benhart inside and you move Corcoran to right tackle, right?
I like that.
And you have one of these JUCOs coming to left tackle, and maybe Piper falls into offensive center. Newelli I think is a good player, and then you'll have another guard spot open up for either JUCO or Bando or somebody else moving on up. So or Williams who's coming in. So it's going to be an interesting spring. It's going to be a real interesting spring in regards to Raiola figuring these guys out and then figuring out their personalities along with it, right? I mean, because that's a lot of it. Who's that leader? Who's going to be that leader? And will he fit better in this spot? Or, for me, for whatever reason, I came out better out of the left-handed stance than I did a right-handed stance. And so whenever I went over to the right side and played right guard, man, that was tough for me. It was like a whole different world. And so, I mean, it could be just little nuances like that, moving from right to left side. So he's got his work cut out for him. He's going to have a lot of fun this spring trying to figure all this out.
How important is technique to an offensive lineman?
Extremely. But, you know, I say that, you know, there's different techniques and there's different types of offenses or blocking schemes. And you know this, right? So when we were zone oriented, while we were playing, that was what I thrived in. You know, everything had to be perfect, right? Everything was perfect. I'm going to be 47 here later this month. I could still do it to this day because it was drilled into me of you step here, right? Now that can be great, but you have to rep it 1,000 times in practice to get efficient at it and to get powerful and do it with some quickness, right? So one of the things Raiola talks about teaching these guys is a little more inline blocking, right? Jump them at the line of scrimmage. And that was something that was used when I was with the Chicago Bears. You talk about a whole different type of blocking scheme, but man, when it worked, when I felt like I was doing that technique properly in that scheme, it felt good and smooth and extremely powerful. So I think technique is critical, as I just said earlier, but it also depends on what kind of scheme you're using it in, right? Mm-hmm. You know, one of the things, BJ, in pass blocking, which was so different, right? You see a lot of guys pass blocking and usually they take a step backwards, right? They do a kick step, if you will. And then they'll kind of wait, and then they'll strike with their hands and making sure the hand placement's good and your feet are right and your head placement's correct. One of the things we did in Chicago, kind of with this jumping at the line of scrimmage, I did this at Indianapolis with the Colts, is you jumped, you actually moved forward with your inside foot and you grabbed the breastplate of the defender as quickly as possible, and then you just mirrored that defensive lineman. And usually, you know, that's that 2 to 3 second, let that quarterback get back in the drop and throw it. So there's a bunch of different ways of doing this, and learning that technique is going to be crucial for these guys this spring.
I'm being redundant, and I'm asking you this question just because I think it'd be nice for ticket fans to get the answer. But how important is, because the one thing that we can see in the last 4 years or in the last 14 years is there hasn't necessarily been offensive line play that has gotten better every year. Every year. You've seen guys leave Nebraska not very good and make it in the NFL. How important is developing these guys into the guys that they should be? Maybe not in year 2, but in year 3, 4, or 5, they should come with some grit. What?
I don't have an answer for you, man.
What?
I don't know, because it's one of those things that I'm just as confused about too. Whenever I can watch Will Farniok go and just pancake somebody last weekend.
Will Farniok, Dallas Cowboys, mind you.
Yeah, and you know, watch Brendan Hymas play, or and I know I'm missing a couple from the offensive line that got in there. Nick Gates was playing well up until he got injured early in the season, and those kind of things. So it's frustrating to me because we weren't seeing that kind of production here at Memorial Stadium, right? And then you go to the NFL, and so what is it? Is it teaching? Is it the coaching? Is it the to me, it's not the offensive scheme, if you will, right? Because I mean, you're still in your group and you still got to perform at that level. I don't know what was going on in the room. I hadn't been to, you know, a film session with the guys, those kind of things to really know if it's gelling or you know, individual practices in regards to the individual teamwork. But man, it's frustrating to me because those guys are going on and it looks like they're going to have some long careers.
Yeah.
I don't know, BJ. I don't know. I don't know the answer. I wish I did, because it's as frustrating to me as it is to everybody else.
Well, that's the measurement of a coach. Okay, that's the way I look at it now. Having a birthday a month after yours next month and being 47 years old, I've learned that the measure of a coach is how good the players that play for him is. You know, I take my hat off to Coach Tenopir and Coach Young, and I say, especially when I look back now, all that time that he spent with you guys, how close of a net group that you guys were. But the guys who came in, I can name the guys who came in with me as freshmen. And the majority of you guys redshirted that came in and had to play on scout team.
We all did, yeah.
So some of us 2 years worth of it, even though we were on scholarship. And so I look at that and I say, well, what's the difference between an Aaron Taylor 1993 that was a true freshman and an Aaron Taylor 1997 that was the Outland Trophy winner, who had to get better, bigger, stronger, faster, more athletic. Your pro agility had to get better. You could not have been the same guy you were in 1993 and expect to play in 1997.
Yeah. I mean, you're 100% right. And I attribute a lot of it is just to the coaching, right? I mean, just to the development. Of course, I'm going to develop, right, as a young man, 18 years old coming in and leaving at 23. So I'm physically going to develop, but a lot of that was Coach Young and Coach Tenopir, right? Just spending time with us. And I think you said it on a show that when you talked about running 140, 150 plays of practice, that's critical, BJ. I mean, that's critical on the development of any player. It doesn't matter if you're an O lineman, you're a defensive lineman, a linebacker, corner, safety, receiver, running back, right? You're eventually going to get it figured out if you're running, call it 600-700 plays a week, right? Versus standing on the sidelines watching the first team do it. So, you're going to develop that way. So I attribute a lot of it to that, right? And not only that, but even though we were scout team, we were still getting coached. It wasn't like we were down there and forgotten about by Coach Tenopir. He was still watching our plays and watching what we were doing and teaching us.
And to attest to that, I was on scout team. I'll never forget this. I never forget this in my life. This is one of those coaching moments that will stick with me. I'm on scout team. I'm at the run station, which if you were a back or a fullback, you hated to go to run station. You would much rather go to pass station, because run station was going to be 30 plays of rock'em sock'em. All you're doing is running and coming downhill on the block. But I had came down, and Ed Stewart was the linebacker, and I think I just went in there like a soft batch cookie. Let me tell you something. Coach Solich came down to the stop and said, run it again. And he got in my face and told me, if I don't go in there and act like I want to block, that I won't be here. And I went in there and absolutely, positively annihilated Ed Stewart. And so to go with what you said, those coaches were also looking at what we were doing on scout team and made sure that they coached us up when need be. Hey, Aaron, I got to take a quick break.
Yep.
I want you to stick by. We still got a couple more things we definitely need to talk about. We need to talk about the new we talked about the special team coordinator, but let's talk a little bit about the quarterback, what he brings to the table. I'll be right back.
If you're thinking about a new career, improving your job skills, or just continuing your love of lifelong learning, Southeast Community College's Spring Continuing Education Catalog is hitting your mailbox soon. It's chock full of options. Learn how to write a compelling grant application, become a pharmacy tech, or even learn to ride a motorcycle. We even provide the bike. Check out your catalog or go to southeast.edu/continuing education. SCC, your path to possible.
Seasons change, but your land stays the same. You need the right solutions to keep you moving. That's why you rely on Acres Equipment, your Nebraska-owned premier John Deere dealership. Whether you're harvesting, protecting your crops, feeding the herd, maintaining your lawn, improving your business, or letting off some steam, Acres has what you need to get the job done. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Mike Shaver here for Trek CBD. There's a lot of CBD shops opening up in Lincoln, but Trek CBD focuses on quality above all else. Their products are from local CBD company Nico Farms and are third-party laboratory tested. They have products that can help with stress, anxiety, pain, relief, and more, and have a wide selection of Delta 8, including Serene 8. Trek CBD is locally owned and operated. Go visit Scott or Shannon at their 84th and Highway 2 location or at 27th and S, or go online to Trek CBD with free delivery. Trek CBD. CBD done right.
Hi, welcome to Big Chain Bar and Grill. Can I get you a drink? Which game were you hoping to see? Doesn't matter. I don't know what channel the game's on anyway. Are you ready to order? Okay, here's your check. Come back and see us again, okay? What? Hey, welcome back into Upside.
Slow down and enjoy the game at the Upside Bar and Lounge. Comfortable seating, plenty of screens, a great food and drink menu, and no one trying to shove you out the door. Come in, hang out, and take it all in at the Upside Bar and Lounge, open daily just east of 27th and Pine Lake.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sure.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
The place you call home should always be a place of comfort. Warm and cozy in winter, cool and relaxing in summer. If your home isn't delivering the comfort you expect, call Bryant. It's more than just hot and cold to them. It's about providing the best comfort solutions. And Bryant gives you a full 24-month test drive on your home comfort system. Get full details at BryantLincoln.com or call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank. A relationship you can count on.
A sunny and seasonably cool day for our Monday, topping out near 37. Winds will start the day out of the north at 10, but try to change out of the west by late this afternoon. Overnight clear with a low of 22. A nice bounce back in temps for our Tuesday. We should be mainly sunny, southwest winds 10 to 15, and an afternoon high of 52. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
My name is Rebecca. I struggled with depression for years. I also smoked. That was my world. Finally, I realized that smoking wasn't helping me. It was making my life worse. So I took control and I quit. Now I'm able to run again and take walks with my grandkids. My tip is there's another world out there, and it's a beautiful place to be.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they're hiring for production operators at $21.72 an hour and other select jobs starting at $23.42 an hour, with wages growing up to $27.55 an hour. Continental also has salary jobs available with great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljob.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Old School with DP and J.
They didn't get hired to come here and change. They came here, I'm assuming, to add to it. It wasn't just Coach Whipple coaching Pickett. It wasn't just Coach Joseph coaching all those receivers. It's more to it. Coaching was a big part of it, obviously, but what did you bring into the table? I can guarantee you, if I'm a defensive player and I was kind of slacking or whatever, you think Coach Joseph ain't going to be like, dog, do you know who I saw him playing on defense? Jamal Adams and all these other guys? What do you think you're doing?
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Back with Vershawn Jackson on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Yes. We are back. It's the captain on the ticket, 93.7 FM on your dial. Tune in because you're missing all this great love, man. I'm here with my brother from another mother, Aaron Taylor, my classmate, 1993. You know what, Aaron? I'm gonna go on a limb before I say anything else. And I just want to say that 1993 team was a pretty doggone good class. That class was nice. Not just
good
because
class, man. It was a good class.
Yes. I think about all the offensive line. I'm telling you, so when we talk senior leadership, right? Senior leadership. How important, because we had a very, very senior-laden team in 1997 of guys who had been there 4 and 5 years. How important was having that senior leadership?
Yeah, that was big because that's what happened with us, right? O-line group with the 94 team, right? They're the ones that set us up. So that group would have been what, the 91 group. But yeah, man, they're kind of the ones that set us up to be those leaders. And I give credit to those guys all the time, right? The original pipeline guys. But it's true. I wouldn't have been the type of leader I was without them showing me the way, because that just wasn't my personality at the time, right? But I developed into it. And man, I just attribute it to those guys. To them and Coach Temper, really. I mean, that's what it was. It was those guys drilling it in me, and then him, giving me the affirmation that, hey, yeah, you're headed the right direction.
Do you think you could have jumped off sides more than once and still had your job?
Oh yeah. My senior year.
How many times you jumped off sides your senior year?
None.
Right. So do you think that you could have
you just don't do it.
Right. Could you have kept your job at any point? Forget your senior year.
Well,
hopefully by your senior year you got it out of your system. But
if you're asking me my senior year, yeah, I think I could have, right? Because I think I'd established myself
you couldn't
enough.
have.
But right, if I'm on an okay offensive line and struggling, those kind of things, if I would jumped off sides or had some bad snaps, those kind of things, man, you bet somebody else would be in there, 100%.
Well, I'm saying multiple games. So, you jumped off sides in game 1. Okay, we can understand that. But now it's game 7. You're still jumping off sides. So now it's game 10, and you're still jumping off sides. I think at some point somebody else would have been trying.
We would have been playing game 10, right? Right. It would have been like, no, it's time for you to sit down. We're going to give somebody else in there.
I mean, you got to give somebody else a shot. Not that you don't help get the guy back to where he needs to be at, but there's a time and a place for everything. And if somebody is struggling and they're costing the team as a coach, I think you have to make a decision that what's best for the team, not what's best for the player.
100%, right? And I think we're Coach Frost is struggling a little bit and has since he got here. And he even mentioned it. At some point in time, it's got to be that stuff has to be policed by the players, right? And I mean, your coaches are only going to tell you so much. They can drill it into you, and I think you've seen that in the press conferences, right? With Coach Greg Austin and even Frost. Hey, we tell them this, we tell them this, we tell them this, and they've just got to go do it. Well, I agree with them. Now, at some point in time, you have to have that leader, whoever that is, that's going to look at somebody else and say, you drop outside one more time, you're going to the field. You're going to the sideline.
Who is that guy? Who would you say that guy is?
One of those guys that scared me to death like that was Tommy Frazier. Right? I was a sophomore. I'm starting. Man, I'm right in the thick of it. It's, and it's tense. It's rough. It's tough. And I mean, he had that look like, you don't perform, I'm sending you out.
Ooh.
And that's the way it was. And I won't ever forget, right? I ended up becoming that leader. And we had Karel Buckhalter, who I love, and Dadgummit.
Dadgummit?
Yeah,
talking about?
give me the running back from Wichita, from Kansas.
D'Angelo Evans.
D'Angelo, man, I love those guys. But I won't ever forget, man, when they first got in the game, it's one of their very first carries. They come through the hole. Of course, we like to run, in between tackles a lot, right? And they come through that hole and they kind of turn that shoulder sideways and kind of do exactly what you were talking about. You got in trouble for against Ed Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
And
Brother-in-law in it.
Them coming back to the huddle, and I said, listen, man, you don't do that out here. You don't do that. You deliver the blow. If you don't want to do it, somebody else will. Right? And I remember their eyes being so big, but that's what happened to me whenever I was younger, with Rob Zadishka saying something very similar to me. And so I don't know if we have that on the field right now, but it's something that's very important, right? Because you got to have some of that senior leadership and the expectation that's there and that we're going to do it this way, right? You never saw Lawrence Phillips or Amon Green or Damon Benning go through a hole and turn their shoulder.
No.
That just wasn't going to happen.
Wasn't gonna happen.
But when, Correll did it the first time or D'Angelo did it the first time, I felt like it was for me to speak up. Those guys went on to have some good careers, right?
Yeah, well, they needed you to speak up because they were both
but it wasn't
freshmen.
because of me and that, but somebody had to do and set the expectation of what it's like to play here at Memorial Stadium.
Absolutely, and they had to do it because they're true freshmen. You talked about Tommy kind of being that guy, one of the guys that jumped you a little bit about your play. I remember playing Kansas, and we were in Kansas. I think it was 95. We were in Kansas, and a couple tight ends had went down. Gilman was out. So a young number 34, 6 foot and all, had to go out there and actually play. And I remember 2 occasions when the first one when I brought in the 3 occasions. The first play was I brought in the wrong play. And if you go back and watch the TV broadcast, you can hear Tommy laying into me on national TV. He was laying into me. So then later on, I had a pretty big block that sprung Tommy for a big run. So then later on, Tommy actually, it was 47 dive. We were on the 1 yard line, right? It was 47 dive called. Lawrence Phillips is the tailback. Corey Schlesinger is the fullback. Very easily, we could have walked into the end zone. But Tommy thought to himself, let me get old VJ his first tug. Let me get him one yard, 1 pass, 1 catch, 1 touchdown. He audible, and I appreciate that him. Yeah, he jumped my bones. Yeah, he jumped me, but it was only to make me better. It wasn't. 100%. He wasn't jumping me to make me feel bad. He was jumping me to make me play better to help the team win.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think as we take a look at this team, VJ, it's going to be a little bit of struggle to find that one guy, right? Now you're 4 or 5 years, starter, a quarterback is gone. Cam Jurgens on the offensive line is gone. And I'm just talking offensive side. Who's going to be that guy? Is it going to be your transfer portal guy in, Mr. Thompson? Is it going to be, one of the guys that have been playing on the offensive line for a couple years now? Is it going to be one of these new guys that comes in? Who's that going to be that's going to set that standard and kind of be that voice for the coach when the coach isn't there?
Yeah,
those are some interesting questions that are going to be answered over the next few months.
You got to answer them. Donovan's has got to breed some leaders that'll make his job easier. Some guys that will get into people's face, not care about what people think, and say, you know what, I'm doing this for the betterment of the team. Let's talk defensive line coach. Who do you believe they'll bring in, and what does that guy have to look like?
D-line coach?
Yeah, do we have one?
Yeah, well, we have Dawson.
Oh, so Dawson's just going to kind of move over to defensive line.
Dawson's going to take everybody like he did a couple years ago.
Okay, perfect. So
yeah,
he's moving over to the defensive line. Okay.
Again, I think we talked about this last week. I think he's more than capable, right? I think it's a good coach. Man, he loves his players. I've talked to him a couple times after games out in the parking lot, and man, his guys love him. Guys absolutely love him. They play hard for him. You can see the results, right, with his guys. So I think he's more than capable. He's going to take those guys. Of course, you're losing a couple. You lose a guy like Ben Stille. You lose Daniels. But I think you have a good core coming back, right? You get Casey Rogers in there full time again. You've got Ty Robinson, I think, is going to continue to develop. It'd be nice if we got an edge rusher in this kind of recruiting class, in this transfer portal class, whatever you want to call this whole recruiting thing.
You know what? Let's talk about that. Whatever happened to the great edge rushers? I mean, we have always been known to have that guy, that dude on the outside.
I mean, you can go all the way back. I mean, for me, right, all the way back to the Sandman, right?
Yeah.
Roderick Thomas to all the way up until, we played, with Winstrom, all the way up until when did it really end? Randy Gregory? Is that the last one?
I would have said Randy Gregory.
I mean, nobody else jumps ahead of. Jumps into my mind.
Nah, Randy Gregory is about the guy. That was about it. And Randy Gregory's been in the league for what? 6-7 years.
Man, you talk about. We were talking about kickers. Earlier. That we always had great kickers. Man, we always had good defensive ends, right? Yeah. Always.
Well, we definitely need to bring in a stud at defensive end. I mean, we gotta. You have to in the Big 10. You've got to be able to stop the run. You've got to be able to control the edge and the line of scrimmage. And to me, it starts not only with your interior alignment, but you got to have some guys that can hold that edge and protect it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it's, those edge rushers, and it's tough. You take a look at Grant Winstrom his senior year. Would you really projected him to be what he was? Right.
You mean from his freshman year to senior year?
Well, I'm talking about his senior year of high school, right? To come in and play right away and be who he was. Remember, he wasn't a very big guy. He was tall and lanky, almost like a Blaze Gunnerson, right? Where you're looking at him, and go, man, you got to put on some meat. But there's so many needs for an outside pass rusher, and there's only very few, right? That are available that you can go get, whether it's via the transfer portal or high school, right? So to me, man, if I was a coach, it's tough, right? Because then what do you do, right? All right, I got to recruit of something I want this to look like, and maybe you go get that, tall, lanky kid that can develop into it and just develop them.
As long as he's got a motor.
It's so tough for me to sit out there and look and go, man, that's going to be a good edge rusher. There's not very many of them available.
You got to find one though. You know what? We had a text come in on Sauterheimen text line that said, Mr. Payne showed some edge rush. Hope he develops. Listen, I thought he played extremely well the first couple of games. Talking about Fidelius Payne.
Yep.
Agent Zero, I like to call him. But then something happened. I don't know if that something that happened was, I don't know what happened, but he went from being a very good rush in at the time in those first 2 or 3 games to kind of non-existent. And then you kind of heard, there was grumbles of him getting into the transfer portal. I'm glad we saved that and didn't let him get away, because I do think that he does have the potential to help us at DN, and he could be that guy.
Yeah. Agent Zero, I like that. And I think BJ, the best attribute he has is his motor, right? You saw it. You were talking about those first couple of games, and even last year, on COVID year, the kid didn't quit. The young man didn't quit, and it would just go, and he was getting rewarded for that high motor. And I'm really excited. I was bummed out he entered the portal, and like you, I'm glad we saved him. You talk about a whole nother thing we could talk about is the whole transfer portal. It's frustrating in the aspect that you got somebody like that you love, and all of a sudden he enters it. It's like, are these coaches going to have to go and recruit their their current team just as much as they are high school students and the other students that are in the portal?
Oh, that's a
Man,
very
it's,
good question.
I'm so glad I'm not a coach.
I think again, if you understand the times, you understand the portal, you have to recruit against the portal. You've got to recruit against the portal. You cannot continue to just you gotta, well, just like anything else, you gotta game plan the portal. You got to tell these kids, look, I'm not recruiting you so you can get in the portal when things don't go right your first and second year. I'm recruiting you so that you will be here in 5 years. If you redshirt, you're here year 5.
Yeah.
Right? So
yeah, 100%.
we're gonna take it to a lightweight break. When we come back, we're gonna talk a little bit about Tommy Frazier, because I think that's and Tommy Frazier will be on Friday. He'll be here Friday. So I think that'll definitely be a good conversation. But let's talk a little bit about, over the years, Nebraska has been defensive end U, I-back U, O-line U, linebacker U, kicker U. How do we get it back? I'm Rashawn Jackson. I'm with Aaron Taylor, 3-time national champion, Outland Trophy winner, on 93.7 The Ticket.
Mike Shaver here for Trek CBD. There's a lot of CBD shops opening up in Lincoln, but Trek CBD focuses on quality above all else. Their products are from local CBD company Nico Farms and are third-party laboratory tested. They have products that can help with stress, anxiety, pain relief, and more, and have a wide selection of Delta 8, including Serene 8. Trek CBD is locally owned and operated. Go visit Scott or Shannon at their 84th and Highway 2 location, or at 27th and S, or go online to Trek CBD with free delivery. Trek CBD. CBD done right.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Casey's General Store is giving you the chance at winning 2 free tickets to a Nebraska home basketball game this season. Stop by any Casey's location in Lincoln throughout basketball season, enter your name into the registration box, and you'll have a chance to win 2 tickets to an upcoming Nebraska basketball game. Every drawing will occur at least 24 hours before the game that has its selected winner. So make sure to get to any Casey's in Lincoln today for your chance at 2 free tickets for Nebraska men's basketball games.
My name is Rebecca. I struggled with depression for years. I also smoked. That was my world. Finally, I realized that smoking wasn't helping me. It was making my life worse. So I took control and I quit. Now I'm able to run again and take walks with my grandkids. My tip is there's another world out there, and it's a beautiful place to be.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hey, Steve. Welcome to Great Clips. Great Clips asks, what's the difference between good and great? Come on back and have a seat. Good asks you what haircut you'd like. I have all your details from last time. Would you like the same haircut today? Great already knows. With Clip Notes, we save your haircut details so you can get the same thing as last time, every time. Download our online check-in app today. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Hey everyone, it's Nicole Griffith from Ticket Weeknights. Join me tonight at Upside Bar and Lounge as we're broadcasting live and on location. They'll have the national championship game between Alabama and Georgia up on all the TVs. And of course, Monday night is taco night at Upside. 50-cent hard shells, $1 soft shells, and $3 house margs while you watch the big game. It's Ticket Weeknights with me, Nicole Griffith, live from Upside Bar and Lounge at 27th and Pine Lake tonight, January 10th from 6 to 8 p.m.
The place you call home should always be a place of comfort. Warm and cozy in winter, cool and relaxing in summer. If your home isn't delivering the comfort you expect, call Bryant. It's more than just hot and cold to them. It's about providing the best comfort solutions. And Bryant gives you a full 24-month test drive on your home comfort system. Get full details at BryantLincoln.com or call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
You spend more time in your garage than outdoors in the wintertime. Isn't it time to get it organized? Call Travis at Classic Garage Solutions for his variety of organization packages. Turn your garage from a cluttered mess to a clean, organized space that'll be the envy of the neighborhood and something you can be proud of. You don't need to bring the same clutter from last year into the new year. Travis has storage options for cabinets, monkey bar shelving, or slat wall, and more. Call Classic Garage Solutions today at 402-730-1638.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sutter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SutterHeyman.com.
Back with Vershawn Jackson on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What you know about this, AG? You know this song, AG?
I don't.
You know this song?
I don't.
Well, we're going to let it play a little bit because you don't know it. It's the Money song.
Yeah, I got it.
Hey, man, could you imagine if we had played in that time like this? How much money would have been getting shuffled around? You couldn't even imagine playing in this era right now, AG. You there?
Oh, yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You couldn't
Okay.
imagine playing in this time right now. How much
No,
money
you know what? It'd be tough. I don't know. We're as we age, we start becoming our parents and our grandparents, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then talking about the younger generation. It would be tough just for me in the aspect of just loyalty, right? We were talking about transfer portal earlier, coming in and those kind of things. It's, I don't know if it was my upbringing, being from a military family and me wanting to quit within 2 weeks of being here. My dad said, you made a commitment and you got to stick to it. Those kind of things. But, to me, it would just be tough. It'd be tough to just be a teammate and see somebody else leave because they didn't feel like they were being maximized as much as they can. Or something along those lines. To me, that'd be tough.
If you had to put your hand on one thing that we definitely had to fix, what would that one thing be to kind of turn the corner on this 2022 upcoming season?
Well, obviously special teams, right? We talked about that earlier a little bit.
Hey, special teams, Bill Bush. What do you think about that?
Yeah. And I think we've gotten there with him. I think we're going to see a dramatic turnaround with the additions they had with him as a special teams coach. With even I think Coach Joseph tweeted out that hey, my receivers play special teams, and so just the expectation of that. Special teams have to get fixed, right? I think the most important thing, BJ, out of everything, right, is knowing how to win. Knowing how to win. Doesn't matter, offensive side, defensive side of the ball, they got to know how to win. We saw way too many times, 7, 8, 9 games where, we should have won the game. We should have won the game. And I think it's just a process of these guys not knowing how to close it out, not having that feeling of I don't know. I don't know. I've never been in that position.
Not having that killer.
What do they feel? They've got to feel like they've got to go out and dominate and close this game out. We're going to win it. We're going to take it in next week. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to dominate you. We're going to put 500 yards on you. We're going to hold you to under 20 points, and we're going to win this game, and we're going to do it the next week and the next week. To me, is that not the feeling? I don't know, because you just don't lose, right?
You're not supposed to.
I mean, but how many times did you feel like you were going to lose when you lined up on the field?
Zero.
Never.
But again, listen, the guys that came before us, even though they won games, they still lost. And I think, like you said about with the older generation teaching us how to play the game. We played against Trev Albers. People really don't get that, but we had to go against him in practice all the time. We played against some of these great guys who showed us the ropes and what we should do. I think in our era just happened to be we had more guys who excel early, and we had more guys that bought into what they were teaching and cooking up as far as coaching goes.
Right. One of the benefits that we had, right, was we played against a defense that we knew when we took the field on Saturday, the opponent's defense was never going to be better than the defense we practiced against all week long, right? I think you could say that. I think the talent level on this team, I truly believe this, VJ, is pretty close in the aspect of there's not many teams. Our defense is better than Northwestern. Our defense is better than Minnesota's. Our defense is better than Maryland's, better than Rutgers. You've got those 2-3 teams, right? Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, that when you play them, you're going to be rough. It's going to be a rough game. But you practice against that caliber of player every single day. Now just translate that out on a Saturday.
Listen, I'm sitting here reminiscing now, thinking to myself the wars that we went through back in that day and how it effectively, like, again, when we say, I think people think we're being facetious or we're not necessarily being real when we say the games came easy. Practice was hard, but the games were the easiest part of what we did all week.
And I think our talent level is getting to that point to where the coaches can present that during the week.
You mean you think the numbers are up? Or
no, I think the type of players that we have in the system. I think our D line's good. I think our young linebacking core is excellent. I think our secondary is pretty darn good. So every time those receivers go against that secondary, right, that we have. Every time you go against Cam Taylor-Britt, you're not going to get better than that, much better than that at all in the Big Ten. So use that, right? Use that. Hey, I know I burned Cam Taylor-Britt a few times in practice this week. I know I can burn this Ohio State DB or whoever that is.
Yeah,
right?
so
use that.
So, big fella, give us something to part ways until I talk to you next Monday on More Money Mondays. Give me a little. Give me. You got 10 seconds. Give it to me.
I always drink the Husker Kool-Aid, baby. Right? We're winning this off season. I like it. I guess one of the things that I'm going to take with me as I move forward here in this off season is I love what we're doing recruiting wise. I love what we did coaching wise. I think we got some good changes coming in, and I'm going to drink that Kool-Aid. But I think those changes are legit.
Hey man,
this isn't like last year where it's just kind of a shuffle and put out the same kind of product. We've got some real change here, and I'm excited.
93.7 the ticket. We got to get ready to go, big fella. We'll talk to you next week.
See you, BJ.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank. A relationship you can count on.
A sunny and seasonably cool day for our Monday, topping out near 37. Winds will start the day out of the north at 10, but try to change out of the west by late this afternoon. Overnight clear with a low